Thanks for being here, chat. Listen up, everybody. It's time for the show in 3, 2, 1. Core! Hey, everybody. Welcome to Core. This is the only podcast in the quadrant with no docking fees. And also, I just noticed something. I did a little Doom Dark Ages video montage for the stream when it's starting. Mm-hmm. And it was perfect with your theme song, Bo. Perfect.
Oh, it synced up nice. I didn't even notice.
It just looked and sounded just like this was meant to be. So I guess well done on both your part and Bethesda and id Software. Good job, guys.
Yeah. Hire me for Doom 4. I'll make music.
Yeah, let's get it going.
I don't better than Mick. Thanks.
I don't.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know. It's not a rousing glass door interview from the last one.
I don't think he's on this new one. I was trying to find that out this week because I like his music.
He's not, but they probably used his. There's probably reuse of tracks, though. I'm sure.
Yeah, and some of that stuff, like he did a remix of the original Doom MIDI song, and it's so freaking good. And you could do that with anybody. So. I'm not saying I won't miss him. I'm just saying I'm sure it's fine. It'll all work out. We'll get to all that in a minute. We're going to talk about Doom Dark Ages and a million other video games that got announced this week because we are in virtual E3 town the last week and a half or so. And this is usually the time we would have all seen a bunch of E3 stuff. You know, if you could take this back to 2017, imagine that. Very different time. You'd have guys on actual stages doing really awkward presentations in front of real people. Some things would get booed and all that. We now live in a post-pandemic time where everybody pre-produces everything to hell and back. Those days are gone, but we're still here to talk about it. And I'm very excited. Quick note, though, before you get too lazy out there, everybody, go check out the latest trailer for Arcane Season 2. You might have thought that wasn't coming. It is. It also got announced it's the last season we'll ever get of Arcane. So enjoy it. There is no season 3. There is only 1 and 2.
That was interesting, but yeah, I think a good idea. Yeah,
I think so too. I was talking to, who was it? I mean, it was you, Bo. Last week you were saying how the initiative over at Riot to make a bunch of ancillary games around League of Legends lore and stuff that just ended. They're done. They don't want to do it. They didn't make any money or whatever. And I thought that meant, well, Arcane's we're not gonna get anything there, but we are. So.
I think it was a bit of the exception. I wonder if they're still going to use Imagine Dragons for the opening.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
You think so? Okay.
You think same song? Yeah. Or do they hit up another one in the library?
I think we probably get a new one.
Yeah,
maybe.
Okay.
I hope so. That first one sucks.
Utah connection.
In my opinion, people like it.
You're not a big Imagine Dragons fan? Not really into it? Welcome to the
I'm not
new
super
age.
Into the band, but
yeah.
I just mean that song in particular. I just don't like it.
Didn't care for it. I understand. Yeah. Well, the good news is we don't know. But when it comes out, great news, everybody. When it comes out next year, you'll be able to see it in its entirety on Netflix, and then that thing is done. And it is really, really good. If you never saw season 1, you should see it, people listening. If you avoided it because you thought, well, I don't like Riot games, still should watch it. Doesn't really matter that it's tied to a video game.
Oh, yeah, you could, yeah. You don't even have to know there's a game that exists to watch it and enjoy it. It's pretty good.
Totally agree. Also, that team, the animation team on that is on some other new project after that looks also crazy, and I can't remember the name of it. My daughter showed it to me, and it looked really cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We've announced it.
Yeah, It looked awesome. So you may get more like it coming soon. But anyway, that is really all the non-big dropped news that we're going to share this week, because this week it's all about games that were either announced or shown in more fullness or are right around the corner from various sources, be it Microsoft's event, Ubisoft's Forward event, you might even think the PC Gamer event. Well, you'd be right. All of those things and more, and including Summer Game Fest, which we all watched and did a recording of, it all coalesced into a blast of information that we will now share. I guess we should just start. Let's start with the one we mentioned already. Let's talk about Doom, the Dark Ages.
Nice.
I have a feeling, based on what Bo played this week, he might be excited about this.
Yeah, it definitely inspired me to boot up some Doom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was excited to hear that we have a new Doom game. The trailer looks sick. I like the medieval angle a little bit, but well, the same misgivings as I have for Doom Eternal. I have for this one potentially, but I'm still sure it's going to be a fun game. Like it's not a big deal, not big misgivings.
What are those misgivings?
What
I
would
hate
the lore. I hate
this.
The lore is shit. The lore is garbage. Their level design's awesome. Games are fun as hell. Music, aces. Everything aces. But I was reading the codexes this time, so it's like, oh, maybe there's some hints of what to come. Because even Doom 2016 is part of this Doom verse. This is just Bethesda era Doom, right? And so I'm like, oh yeah, there's this whole race of beings called the Sentinels that existed for thousands of years, and you're some weird old immortal. I'm like, what? Like, you could easily ignore it. It doesn't ruin your game, but when you read it, it ruins the game. I don't know if anyone that works there listens to this show, but it's just, you got to stop. So what I'm worried about a little bit is this. I don't know what the Dark Ages means, because you might think, oh, medieval Europe, that's the Dark Ages, right?
That's what we think of.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
But the Sentinels have been around for tens of thousands of years or something like that. I don't know what this actually means when they mean Dark Ages, because it looks like we're on weird, crazy planets and stuff. So is it in the future? Is the Dark Ages I don't think it's a prequel. I'm almost thinking it's happening after, but hell has ravaged Earth and we don't have all the tech we have, so it's just a continuation. I would hope for that.
Yeah.
I kind of don't want to go back and find out Doom Guy's been alive for 10,000 years and I'm playing him 10,000 years ago. That kind of sucks a bit, but regardless, I'm sure the game's still going to be fun. I'm going to buy it. It's going to be great.
I think, honestly, I'm 100% with Bo. My least favorite thing about Doom Eternal was the lore. To me, if you say, well, what's your favorite part about that Doom remake that started all this, I would go, it's that moment where somebody tries to explain the lore to you and he punches the screen and is like, I don't care, I'm gonna go kill demons.
That was amazing.
The best moment, because even me as a person who's like, I want the lore, I want the story. Not in Doom, I don't.
No.
In Doom, I want it to be man hate demon, man kill demon, demon sad.
Don't you want lore and Monopoly? When you buy Park Place, don't you want to know the history of Park Place?
I want to see what my apartment looks like. I want to know that
that's
I'm
what
rich.
Doom is. Doom is demons, cybernetics, Mars, isolation shit, and shooting. Save it for other games, Bethesda. Come on.
The less there is, the better, in my opinion. So if this game doesn't answer any of Bo's questions because it's too busy just throwing demons at you, you've done a good job.
Yeah.
You did it right.
Yeah.
Either do good explanations very quickly or just don't explain it at all. Just hey, here's Doom Guy. Why's he got a shield? I don't know. Who cares? Shut up. Throw the shield. Okay, good. That's how you make a good Doom game even better.
Yeah, the weapons look cool.
Yeah, leave the world building to me.
Really good.
Do the things like punch the screen when someone starts to explain something to you. Ask the questions. I don't have a problem with that. First game did a lot of that where it was like, ooh, intriguing. But the Doom Guy's like, F that. I'm shooting shit. Stay with that. The first 2016, in my opinion, succeeded in tamping that down and keeping it at bay so that our brains would go, ooh, there's more here, but does it matter? It doesn't matter to me, but it's kind of intriguing to think there's more to this world, but don't give me too much. They've given us too much in that second game. Eternal's biggest problem is that. I agree. We are all in agreement, gentlemen. We agree on this exact point. Agree. But here's the other thing I know we agree on. The gameplay of these games are impeccable, and if they can get more of that, that's freaking great. There's some kind of dragon involved, a shield with the freaking chainsaw powers is pretty rad. He's also
chucking. Looks great. I like the weapon where you put a skull in it and grind the skull up and shoot the skull bits at people.
Yeah, that's so good. Cool, dude. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. It's kind of what it's giving me is we're getting a Hexen-ish kind of game, but in the Doom vertical. So and I'm all on board with it. It's fine. I'm not looking forward to the angels don't like when you're angry. You are transgressing. As I'm playing it, listening to the con maker be like, don't do that, and I'm just shut up, so dumb.
But in the first one, the robot dude who would pipe in once in a while, that stuff worked for me. Like
Hayden's cool. Yeah, Hayden and Vega are cool. Like I
Yeah.
don't mind that they build like it's cool if they have lore. Just keep it like out of the game, but use
Yeah.
it to inform your creativity. Like
Yeah.
so that there's an implied stuff. Like that's great. And Vega and Hayden are good, but you know, there's this part in Doom Eternal where you put Vega into one of the machines in heaven in Urdak, and then he's like, "Wait, am I the father?" And you're like, "Is Vega God?" But in a you know, it's just it's campy and dumb and stupid, and you know, it's like you're better off not explaining it because everything you do is just gonna make it fizzle and be lame, and that's what I'm like. Oh, come on, he's an AI. Like, just shut up. It's not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
it was more entertaining to sit around and go, you know, Dr. Samuel Hayden, S. Hayden, Satan, like
right.
that connection was a fun one to come to naturally, as opposed to like beating you over the head with it.
Yeah.
Like I don't mind if they put it in the background. I don't mind if there's somebody yapping at Doom Guy like, let me tell you about as long as Doom Guy is like, I don't want to hear it. Just like walks away from him and
in Doom
goes
Eternal,
and kills things.
It's implied that Hayden was in heaven before and gave you the power you have.
Yeah.
And that like makes me cranky.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I'm a human that's just having a really bad day, who's had so much trauma that I'm just a madman of violence. I don't want to be Doctor Strange or Thanos or some weird space, you know, like Superman. That's what they're like. They're the Slayer through the ages. You've killed. And that's why it's like the Dark Ages. It's like, are we going back 10,000 years when the Slayer was in some alien medieval? Like I'm sure it's still gonna be fun and I'm gonna like it, but I just hate the lore. Makes me cranky.
Just
so
take a
so
page
bad.
out of Fury Road and Furiosa. Keep things freaking simple. Give me things where I can build my world around it. I don't need to know if Immortan Joe went to college or not. I don't.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that. Just don't do that shit. Just give me amazing things to see and go, oh my gosh, what is that demon about? Don't tell me. Let me think about it. That's it. That's all I want.
I think fundamentally, I don't like the superheroification of the Doom Guy, which is what they're doing.
I agree. I think it's a bad move.
That's a big like contention point where I disagree with them. I think I'm like, these guys are all just these hell guys are idiots. These heaven guys are idiots. I'm just here to like save humans.
Yeah.
And kill as many of them as I can, and that's it. That's all.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's all his job is.
The deepest it should go is like Doom Guy was demons accidentally picked on Liam Neeson, and now he's just killing them all. They're like, oh shit! It turns out not all humans should be picked on. There are a few we should have left alone.
Yeah, leave that human alone. All right, another one that's getting a ton of talk. We even had an extended conversation with the community, John and I, and I know Bowman, you piped in on this, but in our Discord, we had a kind of a big, long back and forth about the potential of Dragon Age: The Veilguard, which we already knew was coming out. We'd seen very little from it. And at the Games Fest thing, we got what I thought was a completely silly and very stupid teaser. I didn't like it. I thought it was
Games
silly.
Fest that they showed that teaser.
Yes.
Yeah, it was the live one that we did. They showed this.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
And we weren't sure about it when we watched it because we were like, "What is this? What is this?" We weren't even sure. It didn't look like Dragon Age to me.
I didn't think that this was Dragon Age 4. Like, part of the reason why you don't hear me, if you go back and watch that, actually, no, I think this was on the Xbox showcase, and then they did a special one, so you can't see me listen to it live.
Yeah.
This was on the Xbox showcase, but my reaction to it when I first saw it was like, okay, like whatever, because I thought this was a like offshoot game.
I thought it was a version of a fantasy Overwatch kind of. Like, look, here's the heroes that you'll be playing.
Yeah. I thought this was gonna be like, hey, we know we're making you wait a long time for Dragon Age 4, so here's a hero slasher or something that you're gonna play in the meantime. And it actually, I was talking with the community, and I was like, wait, is this Dragon Age 4? And people were like, yeah, this is 4. And I went, uh-oh, that doesn't look good. I'm gonna say I'm really glad that we were days away from recording this show because they did 2 days later, which was not a great move for having a trailer this bad. They showed off gameplay. The gameplay trailer was really good.
Yeah,
I
much
actually
better.
thought it looked intriguing. Now, I've got complicated feelings with this. Dragon Age Origins is one of my favorite video games of all time.
Yeah.
It is a game that for the longest time was my most played game on Steam, and most of my hours wasn't even on the Steam version of the game. I had a CD that I manually installed, and I only bought it on Steam because I was sick of finding the key and the case and all of that. And even though I had played and beaten it multiple times over, it still managed to be one of my most played games on Steam. I love Dragon Age Origins.
Yeah.
And that's the game that I have always wanted a sequel to. Dragon Age 2 wasn't that. Dragon Age Inquisition wasn't that. And so there is a part of me that continues to be disappointed every time this franchise continues and is not a sequel to the game that I think is the good one.
Yeah.
But it's also been 2 games of it not being that. So there is a part of me that understands that while there will always be a disappointment that we never really continued Dragon Age Origins properly, we are now 2 games into it not being that. And it's silly to think like, oh, they're going to walk it back.
And in some ways, Inquisition was some walking back. Like, it wasn't exactly a full walk back, but 2 took it in a very linear first, a single action guy direction, which was nothing like 1. It was extremely disappointing. And Inquisition at least said, well, we're going to Skyrim this up, but also bring back the party play, and, it's going to be a little more strategic and tactical. And so in some ways, I'm like less worried this time around because I feel like we're coming from at least that, and that we can only go up from there. But also what they showed there's no pausing. There's no real, well, there sort of is. There's an ability pause.
Yeah, they said there'll be an ability to like pause, but like this is a different game. This is a sequel to Inquisition, probably more than anything.
Yeah.
And definitely by narrative. And so, I've played all of them, although my understanding is a lot of people that, are big Dragon Age fans swear by a piece of DLC. I don't remember what it's called. But there was a piece of DLC for Inquisition that came out, and there's a lot of people that say that's basically the best Dragon Age has been since Origins.
Mm-hmm.
I never played it because I didn't like Inquisition enough to play it. I beat Inquisition and was like, okay, man, I don't know if this series is for me anymore. And so I never played the DLC, and by all accounts, it was actually very, very good.
I think that's the Black Emporium, right? I think was the name of that stuff. No?
I thought it was something else. I thought it was like Trespasser or something like that. I don't remember.
Shit. Well, anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was called. But anyway, I heard it was very, very good, and this seems to be a direct follow-up to that and the stuff that set up. And I don't know.
Trespasser.
It might be good. Trespasser. What was called Trespasser?
Yeah, you're right. You're totally right.
So I heard that was neat. It is actually making me want to play Inquisition again and actually play it just to see if it does make me care. Because if this game's good, like, I'll be excited for it. Like, I want good video games. Like, yes, in a world where Baldur's Gate 3 is the best reviewed, best critically received game of all of 2023, a stacked year, it does make me go, see, guys? Like, that was, to me, the follow-up, because, Dragon Age Origins was, it was BioWare saying, we want to make Baldur's Gate 3, but we don't have the license anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they had the license, Baldur's Gate 3 would have been Dragon Age Origins.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
and it would have been amazing. And you're right. You're totally right. And also this is not the same BioWare by any stretch. They're just they're totally different company now with different people and different design ideals. And, this is maybe a kinder, gentler EA these days trying to just get back in gamers' good graces. But it's just hard to say. I look at this. There's another thing going on here that's a little bit weird. It's the art style is very stylized, which made that initial teaser do the thing Bo was talking about. It looked like a hero shooter or something. And I just was like, wait a minute. This is not that I need super dark fantasy or whatever, but it was just very stylistic, right?
It's Fortnite-y.
Fortnite-y is a good way of putting it.
Everyone just I don't know what it is. It's not that they're clean. Some of them actually have filth on them, but it's just the style. Like it's hard. It just feels Fortnite-y. It's
Yeah,
hard to
I think
say
this
anything.
gameplay video helped deter a bunch of that for me, like it did. It sounds like it did for John too. And also just showing combat and give me some ideas of how these dialogue trees work and the UI and everything. This has all gone a long way to help me understand that it's more than just that shiny exterior that we were shown. But they did not do themselves any favors with that teaser. I think that teaser was a put off. I really didn't like it.
It was, yeah. I don't often downvote a YouTube video. I usually don't care enough to do it, but that one got it from me. I was like, ugh, what are you doing? Because I actually saw that before I saw the showcase. It's what reminded me the showcase happened was I saw that video and I went, ugh.
Mm-hmm.
It's this helped a lot, and we'll see how the game is. I actually don't mind the style if the game is good, I can overlook it. I do miss the days of stabbing Darkspawn and then my character being caked in blood from the fight. Like that was one of my favorite things about Dragon Age.
Yeah, Dragon Age 1 was bloody as hell.
Yeah, it was.
So good. And I remember like the other thing about Dragon Age, and this is just a weird aside, not that they should do this, but one of my favorite bizarre details was Dragon Age was famously a video game where they were like, this is a dark fantasy world. They don't have dentists. They gave everybody bad teeth in Dragon Age Origins, and to the degree that people complained. I don't know if they ever actually addressed it officially, but I do remember like one of the most popular mods for that game was a clean teeth mod for that game, just because everybody had real browning, rough teeth. Even like characters that are romanceable and stuff like that, they smile at you. They just got gnarly looking teeth.
Yeah.
It was really funny to me, but I mean, Dragon Age Origins is the reason I knew what Game of Thrones was before it was a TV show. It was a love letter to Game of Thrones.
Yeah, for sure.
And the books, because it wasn't a TV show yet.
Right,
so
right.
It's very weird to think about. Imagine if you saw this video game as a sequel season to Game of Thrones, you would probably go, ooh, oh, what is this? And that's kind of how I think a lot of people look at it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. It's very good. It's good dark fantasy. This stuff has just taken different directions. I really hope this one nails it. Also, they showed just the beginning of the game. I think the dude in the game is like level 1 through 3. You get to see his first 3 levels, and they don't show any spoilers or anything. I don't think it's a spoiler that what's his name, Baldy McBalderpants. What's his name?
Yes, Solus.
Solus
My
is there.
least favorite companion in that game.
Oh, really?
That's the other
loved
thing
him.
is they hung the story on a character I knew nothing about. I think this is another reason why people were like, you got to play the DLC. Because every time I tried to talk to that guy, I was like, what a dick. I was like, he's like the first BioWare companion where I was like, you know what? I'm not going to even bother learning about this guy. This guy is just awful. Like even Sven in Origins, who's a complete ass to you through most of the game, I was like, he's a tough nut to crack, but I'm going to crack it because I'm sure there's a soft center somewhere in there. And there was. It was rewarding. Solus was the first time I was like, you know what? I don't need to know this guy.
Yeah.
He could go look at his paintings or whatever he's doing down in that
all your teammates kind of sucked except for S.T.A.L.K.E.R.
Oh, yeah.
That is
They
true.
were all kind of shitty in a certain way. Like you could maybe change them, but they were all,
I kind of like Solus.
edgy.
I don't know why I like Solus, but I did. Something about him. I liked playing him too. I liked because couldn't you switch dudes? Or am I thinking of Origins?
No, you're thinking of Origins.
Okay,
I don't
Origins
think you
did.
could switch dudes.
You must not be able to switch dudes. I think what I did is I built a mage that was just a lot like Solus. Because I liked him. I don't know what that's.
Look, I'm lucky that you like crabby bald people, so I'm not going to shoot down.
Wait,
that
did
you
you feel
like
like?
Solus.
Do you feel like he was too much like you and it put you off? That was the deal.
Yeah, I just can't get along with myself. He's just
Gotcha.
into elves, just like me. He's bald. He's
Sure.
cranky.
Sure.
Like it's just too much of me in the game, I think.
Well, I thought of you because this trailer, the extended gameplay trailer, which we were just looking at, features the main character chose a rogue character, so I thought you might like that.
They knew who they were trying to win.
Yeah. I did go from I went from about 5 or 6 interest level to seeing the teaser that dropped it to 1 or 0. And then this
It was a really bad trailer.
is really bad. And then this took me the gameplay stuff. I don't know if they whipped that together in reaction to that, or if they already. It seems like something you'd have to have prepared. But anyway,
I think they had it prepared, but man, they needed to show it sooner than 2 days.
They really did. I agree. But it took me back up to like an 8. Like that's how much I liked what I saw. So
I don't know if that gameplay saved it overall though. Like I know it may obviously improve things. It's pretty easy to improve on a 0 out of 10.
yeah, that other thing was garbage, dude. Just.
But
garbage.
I'm still like it's a pass for me still at this point.
I went from I'm out of Dragon Age to I did reinstall all 3 Dragon Ages. I haven't played any of them. I was like, should I play Inquisition again? Should I play 2 again?
Yeah.
Should I play Origins again?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to have time to go through all of those games.
Well, I've started Inquisition. I played a really long run of Inquisition, didn't finish it, but a really long run once. Then I did it again. That was on console. I did it again on PC for not as far in, but pretty far. And then I may have tried to start one other time, didn't get very far at all. Like I don't know where any of those saves are. And if I wanted to start over, like that's a big apple to eat, dude. That's a big game. So
I feel like there's enough connection to 2 in Inquisition that it makes me want to play 2 again, even though I know it's the worst.
Yeah.
But it makes me want to do it because the spoilers. The main character from 2 shows up in Inquisition, and there's a lot of stuff with that. So that could be compelling. So I'm like, I should play that. And then when I'm like, well, if I'm playing 2 again,
may as well play 1.
What if I just played the better Dragon Age game again?
Yeah, man. The game was great. 1 is great. Origins, I should say, is great. It's a high watermark for the Baldur's or the BioWare catalog, in my opinion. It's very good. All right, let's keep moving here. Clair Obscur Expedition 33. That may sound weird, but this looked rad, I thought.
This game looks so cool, and this game, I feel like, is the game that nobody knows.
Yeah.
But everybody who saw it went, wow.
Yeah.
Well, look at that. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything about this. So from what I can tell, I think the 34 they show at the beginning is kind of funny. It's a whole other thing. Look, read about politics and you'll understand what I'm saying. But anyway, they start rolling film on this, and I'm like, okay, another one of these fancy timelines. Everyone's a dandy in it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that era of like, hello, Mr. Willington, please. This vibe of like Lies of P. That's clearly in vogue again. There's a survival game on Steam. I forgot the name of it, but it's a lot like this, where you float with like parasails, and for whatever reason, people are really into this look. I'm usually okay with it, but I was like, okay, is this the new hotness? I'm getting kind of tired of this. And then as this went on, it looked cooler and prettier and more awesome as it went. The bosses looked insane, and then they showed some combat, and the combat looks like, oh shoot, what's the Nintendo series everybody loves that I've yet to play?
Final Fantasy.
No. I played that. What's the one with something Chronicles?
Chrono Trigger?
No. Damn it.
Xenoblade Chronicles?
No. Maybe? Is there a third one? Xenosaga, that's it.
Xenosaga, okay.
Xenosaga 3 has a very similar look to the combat, so it's a combination of like turn-based and action and hitting buttons at the right time, and it definitely had a JRPG vibe going on in that combat, and
yeah,
I think this looks...
Yeah, it's a Euro JRPG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it looks really cool.
Love the art style of it.
Yeah.
You've got your Clive as the guy voice, I heard.
Oh.
Ben Starr is in there.
I missed that. Is that true? Cool.
Yeah,
That's great.
Is true.
He just needs Ralph Ineson to be his best pal, and everything's good.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know anything else, though. We really don't know if it's going to be any good or when the hell this... I didn't even hear about this before this. Like, this is one of the few games of the events where there was nothing said prior to this. No leaks, no conversation, nothing. So I don't really know why I'm so excited, but...
It just looks cool.
Yeah.
And it's not... It doesn't fall into the category of, like, every game. It's not a hero shooter. It's not an open world survival game. It's not a card deck builder. Like, it's just like... Here's a cool looking game that's in a a familiar territory, but one that isn't a little overused at the moment.
Yeah. What's cool, I don't know if this is cool, but this is a game that is coming to Game Pass day one, and also you can buy it on PlayStation. So this is not a Xbox exclusive, but it will be on PC, Game Pass, Steam, PlayStation 5, all the Series X's stuff, and that's it. So we'll get to know soon. When did we don't get a date on this, though, did we?
Awesome.
No date. 2025. Wishlist it today. A lot of 2025s in this list, by the way, what we're talking about here. South of Midnight. We knew about this from a previous event. Their last showcase, they showed some of this. This is a little bit deeper look. They seem to have shown kind of a story portion of it. This thing's set in, the American South, French Cajun bayou kind of vibe. Voodoo and magic and giant alligators and weird fish. Also with like a across the Spider-Verse character animation style where the characters are animated at a lower frame rate, which it gives us this very ethereal, trippy look. I think this is shaping up to look really rad, but I don't actually know what the gameplay is. They didn't really show much. It was like...
Yeah, I mean, it looks a little, third-person action-y. She's, doing kind of your third-person traversal stuff. I love the tone and the look of this game, but I am noticing there were quite a few games, it felt like, that were doing this lower frame rate on your characters.
Yeah.
And I get stylistically why it's a choice. It's one of those things where, it's like... I've discovered I have a really hard time looking at it.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know what it does to my eyes, but I see it and it bothers me and it makes me want to look away.
Do you struggle with that with either of the Spider-Verse movies? Do they do that to you?
I do. Like, I like the Spider-Verse movies because they're really great Spider-Man films, but I have a hard time watching them.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know what it is about the lower frame rate that bugs me. Like, I love it as a stylistic choice, but it's almost... I don't know. I wonder if this is going to be like a cilantro thing.
How about like claymation?
It tastes like soap to me. I want to like it very much, but it does something visually to my brain, and it makes me just go like, oh, I don't. It's making my eyes hurt. I need to look away.
Yeah, I get that. Bo, you said something. What were you going to say?
Oh, I just said, how about claymation?
Oh yeah, that's a great comparison because there's a lot of that. I get that vibe from this frame rate
like
stuff.
Fake stop motion, right? Like you don't have to do it that way, but if you were doing actual stop motion, it'd probably come out looking this way.
Yeah, that's the vibe it puts off. Does that bug you when you see stuff like that? If you're like watching, I don't know, Wallace and Gromit or something?
Not as much, not consciously. I don't know if that's because maybe I've like bought into it. I noticed it more in Spider-Verse, so maybe it's the disparity if I'm seeing both.
Well, plus Spider-Verse and this do a thing that the stop motions don't. So when you watch Wallace and Gromit, Adventure of the Were-Rabbit, or what the hell it's called, that movie, everything's stop motion. So your environments, your vehicles, your other characters, everything. This game, it's just her and other characters. The world itself, although you can't tell on my video because I'm streaming at only 30 frames, but they're running at 60 plus, while your character isn't. And Spider-Verse is the same way. The characters are moving at those frame rates, but the world is variable. It's all over the place. So maybe that's it. Maybe it's just like a weird, confluence of the two styles, and they just don't hit you right or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I can see a future accessibility setting waiting to happen.
Yeah, it feels like it, right? A little bit. Looks really cool, though. I feel like there's a lot of originality being shown, and that's why I'm excited. Because I feel like I'm looking at stuff that isn't just a typical video game. It's in a setting we're not used to. It's got a vibe I'm not used to, a look I'm not used to. So I continue to have high hopes for this. So we shall see.
I think it looks really, really cool, and it's the kind of game that I find intriguing enough that I want to get over whatever the frame rate thing does to my brain. I want to get over it so that I can play it.
That's South of Midnight.
Just use your NVIDIA card to add generative frames.
Yeah, it saved me, NVIDIA.
Yeah.
And turn on True Motion.
South of Midnight. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
With the combination of the DLSS frames and the True Motion, it'll be like, it won't be stop motion anymore.
It's funny we talked about Dragon Age today and True Motion because I played Dragon Age Inquisition right at a time where I had to move back home with my parents, and I hadn't played the game prior to moving back. And I hooked it up to their TV not knowing that it had True Motion on. And I spent probably 4 or 5 game sessions with Dragon Age Inquisition thinking, this game looks like a pile of shit. How did this game ever get made? Because everything was like artifacting a little bit and kind of blurry. And I was like, this game looks atrocious.
Yeah.
That's
and then
wild, man.
I watched a movie and went, this movie also looks atrocious. Something is wrong.
This newscast looks like shit. What's going on? Yeah, turn that off. If you're a son or a daughter of parents who don't know better, change their TVs. It's some real bullshit, that True Motion. There's nothing true about it. Let's move on to Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred. Used to be this would be our lead story. These days we just are, whatever. We're excited. This is the first time. This is the first time that Microsoft, since buying Blizzard and Activision, did a reveal that was not just Blizzard doing their own reveal at an event or whatever. So that's interesting.
Kind of wild.
Yeah,
it does feel weird, but
was a killer trailer.
Yeah, it's
I'll
pretty
say
good.
That
pretty good.
Comments on what the expansion may or may not be, where Diablo 4 is at, all of that notwithstanding, trailer was brutally cool.
It's the Mephisto expansion.
Yep, still no Diablo in your Diablo.
I don't think we're getting Diablo till number 4, till X-Pac 3 or 4.
Interesting. But you do think
because they got to do all the primevals, right?
It's a bold strategy. Let's see if they make it to expansion 3 or 4.
I mean, that would be
farther.
That would be a new thing. Like they've never done that before. So 2 expansions or one game, 1 expansion has been the Diablo way for, since the beginning of time. So maybe they'll go longer. But
yeah, it'll be Baal. It's Mephisto, and then it'll be Baal, and then Diablo will be the last one.
These guys know how to make trailers, though, and holy shit, that team, dude. Like, it got me excited for this stuff, and I don't even really know what's going to happen. But when she gets all torn apart by this fake mom demon with the black hand, good Lord, they weren't holding back there. It's like, give me some sinew and some muscle ripping, and I got exactly what I...
Oh, it goes full Mortal Kombat fatality. It's not afraid.
No.
And even this, like, getting stuck to mom's hand, like, it's stuck to her face.
Yeah.
Like, it's gross. Like, there's one thing. I've been very critical of Diablo 4, and it deserves it. But the one thing that I got nothing but praise for is they have 2... actually, every cinematic that they've done for it.
Oh,
they're all good.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, they're the best. Like, I really do think the 2019 reveal trailer will live on, for me, is the best video game trailer I ever saw. I still think it is. It's so good.
The screaming was not phoned in too. It was pretty...
Oh, yeah, she's good.
It was pretty intense when they were doing this because she's also screaming out in pain. Like, ow, it hurts.
Now, so this big Diablo head here, this isn't...
Ow, it hurts.
That's not Diablo, right?
Are like, ow, like they do some weird thing, but this is actually like I'm watching horror. It's like she's really screaming.
Yeah. But the big Diablo head we just saw, that's not Diablo. That's just...
That's Mephisto.
Okay.
Mephisto. Like, I think they're starting with... Because... the initial opening is what's her Lilith, right?
Yeah.
So we dealt with Lilith. Now we find out Mephisto's been pulling the strings all along throughout this whole thing, and the rest of the primevals are not far behind, right? So Mephisto's got some master plan. Maybe it's not him, but like Baal and Diablo, like we're getting them all. They're playing a very long game with the story, I think.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's just going to be Mephisto and we're done. I think we're getting like 3 expansions, and it's going to be one of the primevals, eventually leading to Diablo. Because Diablo is always the first bad guy, and then the expansion is like someone else. Mm-hmm. But the game's called Diablo, so I think they're saving Diablo to be the actual big bad.
Yeah, and that's where John gets his. John will get his Deckard Cain moment there. That's what I think.
Diablo. I don't get to hear Deckard Cain say Diablo.
I mean, maybe he'll be a new demon or something. Maybe Magda took him to the butterfly realm and he's now a weird butterfly demon.
Deckard Cain with butterfly wings.
That's
Hello.
terrible. Here.
I'm here to identify your. Oh, you don't do that anymore. Well,
I'm here to fly around your light sources
I'm
because
here
I'm
to
attracted to them.
attack you with microtransactions. Every
Yeah.
time I hit you, you lose 100,000 gold.
Oh, good
did you
lord.
ever play Legend of Zelda? I'm gonna be your Navi. I'm gonna fly around and go look, listen.
Actually,
Hey.
that's possible because of the tree with the heads in it.
Yeah, that's true.
He might be like some sort of desiccated, preserved soul somewhere.
Mhm.
I don't
Take
know.
it with
Not
you.
yet.
Floating around like
The little Deckard Cain head.
yeah.
Do but the God of War treatment. Put the
Yeah.
Deckard head on your belt, and he's with you.
I love it. I'm in.
Instead of identifying stuff, you could just store gold in his mouth.
Nom 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 nom. Delicious.
I love a full meal of gold. Well, we'll find out, I guess. That game, that expansion, I mean, we don't know
coming
anything else
soon,
about
I
it.
think.
Just pretty is all. Yeah, it comes out the same, isn't this and the WoW expansion like a week and a half apart or some shit like that? I think they showed the same, or the dates were really close in October. And I was like, really?
This is October 8th.
Yeah, and War Within.
2024.
War Within got, let's see, I can tell you real quick. Oh gosh, why does every headline have to? Oh, August 26th. So I guess they're about a little less than a month apart,
A
but
month apart, yeah, but still,
it's really close. I
there's
thought,
so many different versions of WoW out too. Like that's a big one, obviously, but
yeah,
they can't avoid it anymore. They just got to release. Their audiences, I think, are different. So.
yeah, that's true. I mean, in my case, I kind of want both, but the WoW trailer looked cool too. I thought I showed that.
I did too, even though it didn't have much in the way of like new stuff. I was trying to figure out when I was watching it. I'm like, is this a sneak preview of all the cinematics that we're eventually going to get, or is this it? Like
Yeah,
this
yeah.
little montage, you know?
I
w-
feel like this is a tease. I don't feel like this is it. If this is what the War Within main cinematic is,
no, can't
it
be.
feels
Yeah.
a little
That's a little
feels a little
sad,
bargain
yeah.
basement.
I think the main intro cinematic we've already seen, and it's Thrall and Anduin doing shit on the beach.
No, Metzen said
Yeah.
on stage it was not the cinematic. It was a look.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
And-
sure. Like,
Oh,
if
I
it
don't
was a
know, I'm
look,
trying to
then-
remember a while back, but I'm pretty sure he said this is not the opening cinematic.
Yeah.
I hope it's a sneak peek because they have the really cool shot of Xalatath with the orbs lighting up as they spin around her head, like the StarCraft or old Warcraft, profile look straight on. Like the kind of that last shot in this trailer is that, and it makes me think they wouldn't have just made it for 2 seconds, right? There's got to be a bigger context. There's got to be another trailer coming after.
Yeah,
this.
I think.
And I mean,
that's
they've
fair.
been in past expansions putting a heck of a lot more like cinematics throughout the story.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Especially.
It's really felt like we're breaking up with this is like all of our exes in our relationship history.
A little bit.
Now Xalatath is the new.
Someone in the chat said the trailer really pushes the coming home message hard. It says Jump 04. I agree. It's like, hey, Metzen's back, pulling the story together. Here's all the shit that led to this. Bim bam boom. Here's your expansion. So, but look at these characters. Look at this freaking stone dude. I forgot his name. She's also named. I can't remember her name, but she's got the missing arm and the shield and stuff.
all the new popular WoW characters: Stone Dude, person missing the arm, and
then
and
Lady
the rest.
Dancer Junior. I have no idea who these people are, but I'm excited. She's like
Dancer Junior.
It's part of the problem. So hopefully they figure it out.
Yeah, like there's got to be more. They can't just be showing these random things and like that's gonna be it. Like.
Yeah, there's more coming. Watch for it. Also, Fable was shown, and Fable we knew was coming, but we haven't seen much. It kind of went quiet for a long time on Fable, and now we have a lot more. It looks like it's trying to hone in on the humor of Fable, as well as the fairy tale-like fantasy of the previous Fable games. I am pretty excited for how this turns out. This is not Lionhead. They are long gone and dispersed. This is an IP Microsoft owns, and I can't remember who they have on it, but it seems like, from what I remember of Fable 2 in particular, this feels like another Fable game, and I'm all in. So let's go.
Yeah, I think Fable 2 stands out as a time where I was like, oh, this is the best game I played this year. Beyond that, you know, I've always kind of enjoyed Fable, but it's never really been like something that I'm wild about. I think, again, Fable 2 probably the one exception. I really liked Fable 2.
Yeah.
But I have hopes. I think I need to see more. I put it in here mostly because, like, I have a history of really liking Fable, and it could be cool.
It's a very pretty game. I'm going to tell him. I'll say that. Like visually, this is all in-game footage according to the little text at the beginning. These people look great. Like,
yeah, every time I see a person, they feel like a cameo because they look so much like a person. I'm like, well, who'd they get to play this?
yeah, definitely. You can tell they're doing a lot of capture stuff, but also it just looks. I think this dude's supposed to be someone famous. The guy talking in his chair to us.
Yeah, there's something weird about his head, though. It's
Yeah,
like
he is weird looking, but I think he's someone real, and I'm supposed to know him. I'm sure British listeners are like, "You dumbasses, that's so and so from something," but I can't place it. I guess I could look it up.
yeah, they're saying he's a British actor. There's something that looks a little off about his face.
Yeah,
With his body, I don't know. Something isn't lining up for me there visually, but yeah, that doesn't break a game for me.
no, me neither. Something about it though is more. This is more Dragon Agey looking in my head than the Dragon Age stuff looks. I can't really explain why I think that, but maybe it's just a more realistic take. It's less stylized, but also it's not wooden and mannequin-y. I don't know. It looks really good though. Looks very nice. I hope they can do it. Humor's a big part of these games. That's hard in games, so I guess win to their backs on that. Bo, is that a game you'd play? Fable? Is that interesting to you at
I
all?
really liked the first one. I played 2 and 3 and was kind of so-so with them. So I honestly don't think this is gonna.
It's not going to twist your nipples at all.
I don't. I'm very reserved on this game. We'll say that.
All right. Well, hopefully it surprises us all. We don't know.
Yeah, hopefully it's a surprise. I'm rooting for it, but I don't know. I share your opinion on the look of it. It does look more like a fantasy game than Dragon Age does.
That's true. Our next one is Gears of War E-Day. And
now
we're talking. This was all in engine as well, so it's looking very impressive. It is a prequel to the Gears of War series. So you got a young Marcus Phoenix in this trailer fighting a big old Scrog or whatever they're called. Scrotums. What are they? I forgot the names.
Scrotums?
Locust?
Locust.
What am I thinking of? What's a Scrog?
Stumble Force.
Isn't there a Scrog? What am I thinking of?
Yeah,
There's probably
Quake.
it.
Oh,
right?
Quake. That's right. There's Scrogs. They're very much the same, so I don't feel bad. But anyway, the one thing that nobody has been able to confirm for me, and I can't find shit on this anywhere, some speculation on Reddit and a few other places, but I can't find if John DiMaggio's doing Marcus Phoenix's voice or not. And if he's not, this is a mistake. You got to bring that guy
weird
back.
if he didn't.
Yeah.
It would be really weird if he didn't.
And the trailer does not have him speaking, just grunting and kind of fight noises, and it's not clear. So I really hope they bring him back. He apparently
I think
is.
they will. They are bringing spoilers for people, but Dom's alive.
Yeah, they found a way to bring Dom back, which
Well, it's a prequel, so prequels.
I think that's cool. Like, it's funny because I played Gears of War 1, 2, and 3 co-op, and it was like once the like kind of Dom Marcus story was over, every time I played Gears of War after that, I played solo. I don't know if there's any significance to that. But it was like, oh, it's not Marcus and Dom. I guess I can just play this game by myself. And so it was like I didn't hate those games, but I didn't feel compelled to play. Also, I think I was always Dom. I don't 100% remember.
You're
now.
a Dom guy?
It's been a long time. Apparently I'm a Dom.
Yeah, he's a Dom. That sounds like a sex
I'm
sex
a
thing.
Dom, everybody.
Yeah. Isn't that a thing? Yeah, dominant. That is a thing.
It's a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you need the right people. There's only certain people. That's why Scott is so was wondering why John DiMaggio was coming back. Because there's only certain people who can really yell, "Get the fuck out of the way!"
Yeah.
With the right, like,
Come on! Yeah, just yelling at the sky and being pissed that there's more of these things and all that. You need him.
I'm hoping where it's a big return to F-bomb City, baby. Like that's Gears. I always associate with unnecessary F-bombing constantly, but it's like not unnecessary because it's like it's a giant snake or a giant ugly thing. Like you'd be F-bombing too. Like I don't know. It's always hit the sweet. It's got great use of the F word.
I also really like the multiplayer in those games. In fact, the three of us played a bunch of 5 and had a great time.
Yeah, we did.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's a fun game type. I like the hide behind crap and shoot, and be strategic in your fighting and third person fighting and all that.
Bo and I might have done at least one session of co-op on Gears of War 5.
The single player co-op.
So.
That seems.
I never finished it though.
Yeah,
I never finished it. It was not like the thing is like Gears kind of ran its course, but I do think it's because of the lack of Marcus Phoenix.
Well, he was in 5. He's just old. He was like an old guy.
Yeah, but it's like there's these other characters and they're trying to tell a serious story. It's it's the same thing with I don't know. There's just like it's a vibe thing. You know what I mean? Like a game like has a vibe, right? And sometimes when you're trying to tell a big sci-fi story, you change the characters and have different things. It's great, but it also loses the vibe. And the vibe is always like just these real meatheads.
Yeah.
Just meatheads shooting guns. That's pretty much the vibe. And it doesn't have that vibe as much. Like it's gotten away from that.
Yeah, I mean, I 100% agree. I liked Gears of War 5, what I played of it, but it definitely felt different than the first 3. And I think, I'm trying to say it in a way that's like, hey, I really cared about co-op for the first 3 and, then not so much. But I think it's all part of the same narrative, which is those first 3 games were so like iconic. Like you sit down, you play it, it's co-op, Marcus and Dom tromping around.
Yeah.
And then with the 5th one, I was like, it doesn't matter if I play this with friends or not.
Half of it was also them not using equipment right and doing what they're told.
Yeah, that also was a bad narrative. Like I didn't.
Like they kind of got away from that with
Yeah.
They sort of got away from that where they're using the hammer. Was the hammer of Dawn wrong, or like Baird messed up and did something stupid, or it's
Baird always messes up.
Baird
exactly.
sucked. I hated Baird.
Yeah.
And then they gave him his own game.
Yeah. Baird got his own
hey
game.
Guys, you're gonna play as Baird now.
Was that 4 was Baird, right?
No, it was the offshoot.
What am I thinking of?
Gears of War, the Tale of Baird.
Wasn't 4 he was Baird like?
I think 4 it was JD. It's Marcus's son or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
And well, Marcus, I'm like JD.
JD Phoenix.
Yeah.
All right. I don't remember.
That's what I mean. Like I'm like I don't know. Like it's not a question of not celebrating diversity or having new characters. It's just that that franchise is a vibe. I need dumb guys who shouldn't be having guns. Our only hope to save us.
Maybe you're going to get that with this because it's a prequel. It's back when they were dumb.
I assume we're going to lose because it's E-Day. Like it's already.
Yeah,
but you're not gonna win. You're gonna end up in jail at the end, probably.
Yeah,
exactly.
But
so
you're gonna.
Everything goes bad.
They could do some. I mean, I'm sure that does because that's things aren't great when Gears 1 starts, but you get to see those guys in their primal form. Maybe we'll see how it's written, and then I don't know. Maybe there's some stupid time travel bullshit they'll throw in there. I hope.
Oh, yeah.
I hope not.
You think maybe it's current day, and then they find a locust time warpity warp.
They fall into the E-hole.
It's a T-hole for time hole.
E-hole and a T-hole.
And he goes into the T-hole and comes out as young Marcus. He's like, I could do it all over again. I could fix E-Day if only I didn't shoot the Hammer of Dawn in one of our own buildings and Bear didn't F up the way he F'd up. Yeah. Now I know how to solve this level. I better not be that. That'd be terrible.
Then a new hole opens and he goes, oh, come on!
Yeah, unless he makes it worse. Unless somehow it ends up being worse, then I'm on board.
Yeah, love that guy. All right, now we'll talk about a game that we're all buying day one because that's just how this is. This is a auto buy. Even if it's not great at launch, it'll be great because it'll be great. And that is Civilization 7. Everybody probably felt like something like this was coming because, of course, a new Civ game makes sense. It's been since 2016 since the last one, so it's time. And this is purely a teaser. We don't have any kind of gameplay.
That's crazy. It feels like I haven't played that game enough,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I definitely feel that way. And you've got some time. You got till next year, so play the other one if you want. But 7's coming, and this teaser did nothing to show us any kind of gameplay or hex grids or anything.
We don't know who our narrator is going to be.
Nope.
Do we want to do? Who would you pick as a narrator? Because
Oh
they
my
always
gosh.
get somebody, right? With
All right,
a good voice.
John, I love it. I love that you've gone here. So 2 times ago, it was that for 5. It was that old. He's dead now, but that old guy with that voice was so good. He was so good in 5. I loved his take. Last time it was Sean Bean.
Leonard Nimoy was in there.
And then Leonard Nimoy was 4. And I don't remember 3 and back. Maybe it didn't have 1 and 3. I don't remember. I want Ralph Ineson. I want our guy.
Oh, that is a phenomenal choice.
Yeah. Bring Sid back in this form.
That's so good.
Yeah.
That is so good.
Seems like he'd be willing. He's already dipped his feet in the game stuff. He's got a reputation now.
Galactus now.
Yeah. That's who I'd pick. Bo, who would you want to narrate your trip
For some
to?
reason, I'm thinking of Paul Sun Young Lee as the voice. I don't know why.
From Kim's Convenience. Interesting.
Yeah.
In that voice, or
Yeah.
just like his normal self, like his Star Wars?
I don't know. He could just do a normal voice. Like we always have a British guy. What if we had a Canadian convenience store Korean?
It's the Canadian Korean guy. I love it.
That's where my mind went. I mean, I don't know. When you just asked the question, I was like, not him.
Well, I love him, so I'm biased, but yeah, I'll take whatever. They do a great job with that stuff. I thought Sean Bean was great, although I kept waiting for that game to kill the narrator because it's Sean Bean. He has to die.
Just at the end.
Yeah.
You've completed civilization.
I mean, does it always have to be an old British guy?
I mean, probably. But also Leonard Nimoy wasn't in 4, so,
Idris Elba could do it, maybe. He's got the age.
He'd be good.
Does it always have to be a dude? Is there, if they reduce a lady's voice?
Ooh, I'll take Kate Blanchett for 1,000, please.
Yeah,
she'd be amazing. She'd be so good. She's got that husky voice, amazing accent. Oh
no, I agree. You didn't even, it's just when your answer just trumps. I can't even think of a better answer.
I can't think of a better one.
Chat says it's over already.
GamerCheck says Natalie Portman. I don't think she's down anyway. I don't think she'd do it.
I don't know.
Sigourney Weaver, that could be interesting.
Oh, Sigourney Weaver would be a great choice.
Yeah, I don't hate that. That's actually really good.
That's solid.
Yeah. There's lots of options. We'll see what they end up doing. But Civ 7, we'll all be playing that. Maybe they could put
what if it was a Fran Drescher?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god!
You've discovered animal husbandry.
Seth Rogen, I like what we're doing now.
Yeah,
this is good.
That's a terrible idea.
Oh, he's so good.
All right, now
I'm amazed nobody has said Chris Pratt yet.
Oh, please don't, chat. Let's never forget.
I think they should go for a tone change. Take history less serious and put in Matt Berry.
Matt Berry. Oh, I've been tricked.
Beat Han Sanitizer to it by seconds.
You did, yeah.
Seconds.
For the record, you said it right before his popped, so I can prove it on this
The
side.
correct answer is Asterion. The actor who played Asterion, though. I forget his name.
Oh, he'd be
all right
too.
Yeah. I mean, their job is mainly to quote quotes from famous people. That's mostly what they do. Like in the last one, Sean Bean rarely ever said anything except he's not even the tutorial person. It is a woman who does the tutorial, and it's not a historical person. It's just somebody.
Yeah, your advisors have different voices usually.
So when he does it, he just says, there's only 2 things I hate. It's a horse and a chicken. Teddy Roosevelt or whatever. It says some quote by somebody.
Yeah, the famous Teddy Roosevelt quote.
A great quote. I have that up on my fridge.
Rumble Force.
Kids gather round. There's only
Force.
2 things
Sorry.
I hate. It's a horse and a chicken. Now
Jumble.
go to
Doesn't
your
even
room.
know his team name.
Sorry, Jumble Force. Gotta get that
Jumble
right.
Force.
Mighty Morphin Power
Werner
Rangers.
Herzog is a good
Oh,
choice.
Werner would be good.
Oh, that's so good too. Oh
These are
man,
not
it's gonna
the
be
droids you're looking for.
He would say things like,
I would like to see the baby.
he would say
I would
that a
like
lot.
to see your tech upgrades.
Please show
If
me.
you would only show me the proper tech upgrades,
You have
I will show you how to win a civilization.
You have built another warrior. Send him south. Yeah, I love him.
Send him out. I will not release the tape.
You've sold me. This is the new guy. Let's talk about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind. And the reason we're going to talk about this is because John cares. And
Yeah.
All right, John, tell us about your bad taste.
tell us about this horrible. Actually, I kind of think it looks sort of fun, but I'm not really into the fandom of the whole thing. And I know that you had a lot to eat back in the day when it came to Power Rangers. So, I mean, what are you looking forward to here? Are you excited?
I'm looking for exactly what we got with that Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge game. There's a part of me, so Bo and I, and others,
We played with Ryan Murphy and Crofton.
Yeah.
played through that entire game, and there's a part of me that was like, man, we played through that whole game in just
Played through the
one
whole game.
little sitting. Like, was this a ripoff? And then I thought about it and I was like, no, you know what? This is not the kind of game that I want to have. Well, guys, it's our scheduled Shredder's Revenge sesh, if everybody can get on. And
Everyone
log
has their
on.
flask.
Like,
Make sure you can put your pre-pots for...
all your pre-pots. Bring them in.
I don't want that. I want a game that's just like fun co-op. You get in, you fight a bunch of people, you do a bunch of weird stuff. Like, this game looks like it's a side-scroller beat 'em up with some weird, like, old PlayStation looking 3D business mixed in there.
And a few of the players that are hogs about pizza will like bicker at each other, and it's kind of funny.
Yep.
Because wasn't it Crofton taking all the pizzas all the time?
Crofton was taking all the pizzas.
So then John got real competitive and started taking all the pizzas.
Yeah, I
Like,
didn't call him
never
out.
got
I
a
just
pizza.
started taking it instead. Yeah.
Yeah, and I never got any pizza, so I always had low health.
I mean, this doesn't.
Crofton and I do not feed each other's best habits.
No.
Crofton plays like me, and I don't call him out on it. I just play more like him
Yeah, which is more like you. So
in response.
Yeah, we had a good time with it. All I have to say is there's something, like John said, for 5 hours with your friends, or even 2 hours. We played, I think, for a while. That was like 3 or 4 hours at least.
Yeah.
Just played through the whole game, had a good time, and it was worth the $20.
absolutely
Yeah.
shocked that Crofton keeps the pizzas for himself. Shocked by this news. Can't believe it.
Well, the world revolves around Crofton.
It looks pretty cool, though. Is it the same team that did that? That did the Turtles
I don't
still?
know.
I don't know.
I'm sure has that vibe, doesn't it?
It does. It feels very like, and a different style though that matches like what the old Power Ranger like Super NES games and stuff like that looked like.
Yeah.
too.
And some
So,
cool animated interstitial stuff. You can't really tell how much they use, but that looked cool.
Yeah,
So-
I don't think you have to like Power Rangers to be excited for this. Like, I think if you like colorful co-op brawlers, like this is for you.
I would, yeah. I won't hurt if you like Power Rangers though.
That will help.
Yeah, that will help
We'll get
a lot.
more out of it for sure, and
Yeah.
I do because I grew up on it.
Yeah,
so,
this is
yeah.
I understand that. Let's talk about a weird little game called Wanderstop. So this, I think, was during the.
Oh, I love Oasis.
It was during the Summerfest. I think this one happened.
Yeah, this one we did live react to.
This is so weird because this is the team behind
Stanley Parable.
Stanley
and
Parable. Thank
Beginner's
you.
Guide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it looked like, oh, they're making Stardew Valley 3D like everyone else and their dog. And here's another Chorecore game, Scott. And you take care of this village and meet the people and grow your thing. And your grandpa probably left this to you before he died. And all this shit they do in every one of these games. And the game really leans into that at first. And I'm like, I guess this is what they're doing now. Like at first I was like, okay, Stanley Parable, how do you go from that to this? But then this thing takes a turn.
And it doesn't tell you what the turn
No.
is. That's my favorite part about it is they keep making it seem like there is far more to this game than just doing chorecore business. But they don't tell you what that switch is going to be. And that's what got me all in. And I think I told you guys on the stream, I'll reiterate it here. I now know everything I want to know about this video game. And I want it. Like, short of it coming out and I hear that it's just garbage and terrible or something like that, I will just get this game and I don't want to know anything else about it.
Big same. Looks cool. I mean, it really got me too. Way to sell me on a game that I was so ho-hum about it because I played all these already. I like these, but I'm kind of, done it all. You got to do something different. And they did. And I don't even know what it is. I don't know what they've done. But it's already subversive as hell, and I love it. So yes,
she's doing that reaffirming like everything's okay, but everything's not okay, and that's all there is.
That's all there is. That's all they give you. Let's jump over to Ubisoft's Forward event and talk a little bit about Star Wars Outlaws, a game that we knew was coming, and there's been some controversy, mostly stupid, but some reasonable about pricing and stuff. I don't think those are stupid complaints, but I'm more excited about this than I am maybe just about anything else for the rest of the year. There's a few things this year I'm really excited about, but I think this is way up there on my list, and I can't wait to play it. So bring on the Star Wars. I don't know what else we need to say about it because we've talked before, but anything about this reveal that helped you guys along, John? You're like, oh, look at this.
Look, I'm a sucker for Star Wars. Like, you put Star Wars on something, I'm already 600 times more interested, even if I wasn't that interested. And again, I think this still falls a little bit in if it comes out and it just looks terrible in terms of reviews and whatever, maybe I won't play it. I don't 100% know what it is, but there is something about just seeing the Star Wars universe, Star Wars things, this level of graphics, like I just can't help but get excited about it. Like, I don't know much about it. I feel like I still don't. But I can't help but get excited about it. I'm a fan of the Star Wars, and the aesthetic this is hitting is very much the Star Wars aesthetic I like.
Yep. And I like open world Ubisoft. Sorry if someone hates me saying that, but I do. So I actually trust them here. I think they're pioneers of it. And I think it works well in a Star Wars world, and we really have never had one. It's usually pretty linear, these games. Like even Jedi Survivor is an amazing game, and it's game before it, amazing games, but they're kind of linear. Or they're linear in a backtrack Metroid sort of way, but they're still pretty linear. These, the idea of a big open world and me being able to travel on speeders and travel between planets on ships. I mean, in some ways, this is the fulfillment of a lifelong wish for Star Wars content. If they can do it. If what I have in my head pans out, I'm very excited about this game. So,
yeah, and I mean, Ubisoft has plenty of, there's plenty of criticisms you can give them, and deservedly so. Your mileage may vary. I'm just telling you how I feel about it, and I don't love the pricing. I don't love a lot of the things they do, but I buy video games that I think I'll like, and I think there's a pretty good chance I'm gonna like this. So that's where it's at.
Yeah, it's got fade wipes, which I appreciate.
Yeah, you gotta have a good fade wipe.
Yeah, it's Star Wars. What else are you gonna do?
No, personally, I find it hard to find anything wrong with what they're showing. So it's all gonna be when you get it in your hands. Like, it does look interesting.
Yeah.
Does it play well? Does it? I think it looks compelling.
It sure looks nice, and I'm lots of Tatooine style planet stuff going on, which I'm a giant fan of. There's some space shit that looks pretty good. Hell, maybe this is the Starfield we wanted. I don't know.
It's the Starfield we were all looking for.
I reinstalled Starfield for the new patch and stuff, and I don't have anything to say yet because I haven't played it.
I was curious if Starfield's expansion was going to end up on here.
Not for me, just because expansions, I mean, I don't know. They may just completely be awesome. I don't know. Like, Starfield's cool. The screw up I made, I was going to play it so we could talk about it on the show so I could speak to what changed in the patch, which just feels like more of a pre-patch for this expansion. And the problem is I installed it, forgot that you're not supposed to install it to a normal hard drive. It's so big, I put it on the big one because I just wasn't thinking. And then it was Chop City, and I went, oh, right, this needs that NVMe crap, and that's the different drive. And so I had to move it, and so I didn't get a chance to play. So that game gets in its own way a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of looking forward to getting back in there. All right, Assassin's Creed Shadows. Not much new to say here, except it's looking compelling, and
Yeah, I
like.
think you can actually take everything I just said about Star Wars Outlaws
Mm-hmm.
and just remove the Star Wars stuff about it and add in I like, ninjas and samurai.
Mm-hmm.
Put that instead and go, all right, same exact review here. Like, seems like it's got some compelling stuff. I like ninjas. I like samurai. That part is compelling. This one is not necessarily one I will get right away.
Which one's first this year? Is Star Wars first? I can't remember.
I don't know.
November
So
15th for Shadows.
Okay.
Here's what I'm quickly learning today. I have stopped paying attention to release dates.
Yeah.
Because I don't know a single release date for a single game that's coming
August
out.
30th. So yeah, Outlaws is end of summer.
Okay.
AC's like Christmas.
All right. I'll probably end
Just
up with
before
both
Christmas.
then. And it's as usual, I'll probably not finish both in this calendar year, but I really want to play both of these. And I've been playing a lot of Odyssey. I still am. And so I'm in the mood for this. Oh, this looks really nice, you guys. Like visually, it's looking real good.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, Perfect Dark. Here's one that.
Oh,
yeah,
baby.
Joanna Dark and
Finally.
Bo. He dreams about Joanna Dark at night, right?
I really liked the Super Nintendo. It was on Super Nintendo or N64?
N64.
N64.
N64. Yeah. I mean, it was just. It was more GoldenEye, but a new world, and I think I have fond memories of playing that game. And I think it's a shame that they haven't made any Perfect Dark games.
Well, they made
So
one for
very curious.
They made one for the 360 that was. It was good. It was not amazing. It was okay.
Talk about that one.
It is weird to me, and so I don't know how much this is going to fall into any of those camps, but like Perfect Dark exists because people wanted more GoldenEye, and once again it's another situation of, well, we don't have the license to make more GoldenEye, so we did Perfect Dark instead. And it's so weird to me that it has felt like nobody knows what to do with Perfect Dark.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you make the game the closest to a modern, like if GoldenEye kept getting made year after year after year,
Yeah.
you do that again. You do that again. You chase that dragon. You do a first-person shooter campaign with objectives and multi-branched methods of achieving those objectives. And, you can do stealth or run and gun. And instead of just making it, bullet spongy on difficulties, you give additional objectives and you put in really cool multiplayer and lots of weapons. Like, to me, it seems like such an easy thing to figure out, and it seems like nobody ever tries. I don't know how much this is going to be that.
Yeah.
But
so
I
there's
do
an
like
interesting
spy
thing
stuff.
about this trailer is the gunplay looked like precision handgun, but they're all non-lethal takedowns.
Yeah.
Which I really like, because like if you're
very Deus Ex,
like
right?
being a mass murderer. Well, in Deus Ex you can kill. Like,
well, that's true.
Cyberpunk, life is cheap.
But this whole vibe though really gave me Deus Ex vibes. I don't know why, but the trailer.
Oh, it does. Yeah, like it's a sneaky go into buildings and do things. But it's notable. Like you actually, if you were, whatever. I guess the realism argument's always dumb because it's video games and stuff. But I sort of appreciate. If this is like full, like just non-lethal gameplay, like I actually really like that.
Yeah.
Because like you're not a mass murderer, you don't have a license to kill. That's James Bond; he has a license to kill.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, Joanna Dark does not.
So I like the idea that like you can go through and like yes, you dispatch enemies, but you're not going to be killing any of them unless they're like machines and stuff. So I don't know, man. Like, but there's no lethal takedowns unless that gun is super lethal. I mean, it does look like there's a lot of electricity.
There's a lot of electricity.
Yeah.
But like just like, and I'm just digging. This is the vibe. Like everything about the vibe. You're shooting over a thing of oranges, and all the oranges go all over the place. Like there's a ton of detail going on here. And it makes me really excited, and I hope the game's really good.
Yeah, it looks like it looks like it really could be something special if they can nail that. I also
I don't know how, because they're also showing very accurate. Like she leg sweeps someone over the head, and turns around and headshots somebody with the stun gun. Are we going to be that good? Like without like how much is that a gameplay versus just a programmed recording? You know, I wonder what it's going to feel like. But I really like the vibe of it. So
Yeah, same.
I got high hopes for this one.
Yep. This will be coming out next year, everybody. All right. First Descendant. I can't remember what this one is.
This is the looter shooter where everybody looks like a cool future anime person,
right. Okay, so that's right. This visually was something. Like, I got cool vibes out of this, but I can't tell. It feels like maybe third-person Destiny, maybe, that's looter shooter, I suppose. So it's an easy comparison. I'm sure this plays a lot like those, but it looked real nice. It's fun to.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those Destiny Warframe style games.
Yeah. What do you think of the?
I think it's Korean developer. Is it Next NC? So no, Nexon.
Is it?
Yeah, Nexon.
Yeah, Nexon.
I think.
Right.
So it might be like monetized really badly. I don't know, but I like the vibe in this game a lot. I want it to be really good.
See, it comes out on July 2nd, PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. Third-person co-op. Trying to see if they said anything about pay. No, I can't see anything. So this may be free to play. I think it's free to play.
Like it's on Steam. You can wishlist it. I think it says free to play on there.
Okay, it's pretty though.
It's like monetized that way.
Really pretty. I think some of the weapon stuff seems interesting and new. That's always a way to get me with these things because I'm kind of tired of the same old looter shooters. I also prefer third person over first with these.
I guess one of the things it does a little differently because it very very much is like Destiny and Warframe or even Anthem, but like Warframe's definitely like, you know, got the ugly vibe. Destiny, while not ugly, it's just you're very in armor. This just very much feels like you're putting on suits and stuff and equipment. So I don't know to what extent.
Seem like classes, right? Little stealth.
Could be. Like, I don't even know if it's class based or if it's armor based. Like, some guys are just wearing trench coats. Like, there's like magic users, it looks like, too. So
public pervert class is what that is.
Public pervert.
Public pervert. Yeah. You wear one of those. I finally have
a game where I can play as a pervert.
Finally.
A public one.
Yeah. One in the public. I mean, are you a pervert unless you're public about it? I don't know. Think of that.
No, you can definitely be a private pervert. But this is a real, if a tree
but only in the
falls
military.
In the woods.
Yeah, but if nobody
private pervert.
If nobody if nobody sees you though being a pervert, you're not, I mean, I guess you see yourself being a pervert, so I guess you're a pervert.
Yeah,
if a pervert pervs in the woods, does anyone notice? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I guess it's fine.
Sure.
Seems fine.
How about Once Human? This is a game by, let's see, coming out right around the same time. That's like the 9th. I forgot this one too. I'm getting to that part of the list where I don't remember this shit.
I think it might be a new developer.
What was the deal with this one? Oh, right.
So this is an MMO, survival MMO, Starry Studio. Yeah, I don't know that they're known for anything else. It could be.
Sure as Purdy, though.
It's like a current day survival. I believe it's an MMO. This had the walking house that John noticed. I remember him calling it out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got excited about a walking.
It's just an MMO. Like for me, MMOs have long been either like shooter types, like PlanetSide, or like World of Warcraft. We've always had a few hints of current day MMOs, like
what was that one called?
Darkness,
shoot,
the one where you're like investigating ghosts and shit. Or
yeah,
like that.
supernatural stuff, but you're in the real world.
Well, world or something, or the Dark World or
Dark World.
No,
not Dark World. Shit,
that's a movie. Yeah, there's one I can't remember what it's called. But yeah.
Secret World.
Secret World.
Yeah, I think that's it.
That's it. John got it.
I don't know.
Hey, got it before the chat. Good job, John. Nice job. Well done.
It's more just that I'm curious about it. Like, it might be like, oh, this is poo, but the monsters look pretty cool.
Yeah, graphically looks awesome.
Like, I don't know. Like, it's hard to know, but I've just been really curious about it. So every time something comes up, I'm like, oh yeah, can't wait. And like that's in a month, from now.
Watch for that coming soon. All right, here's a weird one I added to the list because I just have super huge nostalgia for the original, and that is the remake of Age of Mythology. They're calling it Age of Mythology Retold. This is a Xbox Studios thing. Originally a game by, well, Greg Street was there then, but it was Ensemble Studios. Was a follow-up to the very successful Age of Empires games, and it took things into 3D before even Empires 3. This was their first 3D Age of game. And the old one looks kind of poopy now, but this looks like a very nice facelift, and it's a cool RTS. You use god powers, so you don't just make Egyptians. You make an Egyptian civilization, and then you also have all the Egyptian gods get to do shit for you. And so there's lots of
throw a party for you. That's awesome.
And if you're like Greek, you get Greek gods, Roman gods, that sort of thing. And the game just has, I don't know. Back in the day,
seems like it has crazy physics. Like there's like earthquakes and stuff. Oh my god.
Yeah, there's a lot more going on here than that old game would portray. So I think they've definitely upgraded it. I'm just excited about it. So watch, and I think it's got controller
not a
support.
Free-to-play RTS. Imagine that.
I know.
It's an RTS where you pay money and you have everything.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. And Game Pass, which I guess you pay money for Game Pass, but yeah.
Well, yeah.
Now, Bo, the first thing you put in here from the PC thing, which I did not see, this is a game I'm following.
Yeah,
though.
let's just put some context in. The next bunch of games were in the PC Gamer
These
Show.
are all the PC gamers, Joe. And
I think I'm
neither
the only one.
Scott or I watched.
Yeah, neither of us watched it, but I will say this Fumes game, I've been following this for a while. I'm trying to interview the dude, in fact. It's a single developer. This thing is so right up my butt, I cannot wait to play this.
Well, that's what I was going to say is like there was 200,000 games, so I couldn't list everything. So I just brought a bunch that jumped out to me, and I don't remember you talking about this one, but I just thought Scott's going to want to know about this game.
Oh, I cannot wait, dude. It's
this one's here for you, but you already know about it. So
yeah.
It seems like Mad Max meets Twisted Metal.
Yeah, a little bit.
Meets like an open world RPG almost. Like maybe you just kind of go around and do shit. Like
you got to deliver things. You got to do missions.
Cool, honestly.
Yeah. It's got this like PlayStation 1 vibe, although there's no way a PlayStation would have done what we're looking at here.
No,
but
it's doing way more than that.
It's definitely going for that low poly, crunchy texture stuff. But the driving in the sand and then look at that boat, dude. Holy shit.
There's like lightning bolts and stuff. Like it looks zany and crazy too at the same time. Like there's a big boat truck. Okay.
Very excited. This is wish listable now. You should all do it. What are you waiting for? Fumes looks rad.
It definitely looked cool. So this jumped out at me as something you'd really like, but you already knew. Of course, you already knew about it. But
somebody on Threads posted a video, and I went, "Who is this guy?" And I just started looking at more, and I was like, "I must play this game." And it was pure accident that I even knew. So, but I appreciate you doing that. How about Callisto? What is this?
Cataclismo. Callista
Flockhart. Yeah, Jumble Force.
There's not much to say about this one. It's like, the game They Are Billions, or I think Age of Darkness is another one by the same developers. It's, RTS, you build up a castle, and every night the enemies come and you got to defend it, and then during the day you go out and do things. But graphically, the presentation looked really interesting.
Yeah.
It looks really cool. You take out a bunch of adventures, you go do stuff. It's an RTS. It's in a specific style of RTS where you're building up your defenses and town and stuff. But I like these games. I've played some They Are Billions. I've played Age of Darkness. I really like the genre, and this one looked interesting to me.
It's like that mission in StarCraft 2.
Dead of Night, but a whole
Night.
game.
Yeah, whole game.
Like that. It's a whole genre now. Dead of Night is a whole genre of game. But the art style in this one really jumped out at me. It didn't look like the other ones.
It's made by the people who made Moonlighter. I loved that game.
Exactly. That's also another thing.
Yeah.
Goated developer, not just some randos. So it seems interesting.
Excited
I'm going to also point out, just for those interested, both games that have been talked about so far, Fumes and Cataclismo, have demos available currently on Steam.
Oh, shit.
Might be part of their next fest thing, but if you want to give them a try,
Fumes!
they both have demos right now.
Fumes demo!
Oh. Fumes demo. Scott's going to stop the show. Don't tell him.
Good night, everybody.
Don't too early.
Yeah. No, I'm stoked about. Oh my gosh, I didn't know there was a demo. So I will be doing that right after we're done tonight. After I eat, and then I'll do it.
And it is true for the next game we're going to talk about too.
Well, let's talk about Level 0 Extraction then. Bo, what's that thing about?
It's everyone hold on to your butts. It's an extraction shooter.
Whoa.
100 of those. Oh my god. This one looked like a little zany, so it jumped out at me as maybe kind of fun because some of the players control the monsters. It seems like a game designed for streaming, basically. Like, I don't know. I don't know a ton of details about it. I just saw the trailer, and people can go in and set traps on the people playing, trying to extract. That's about the gist of it. I haven't, again, tried any of the demos. It just jumped out at me as interesting.
So a little like, what's the one we played where you scream and if you fall, you die, and then the scream ends? What's that? What was that thing?
Phantasmorbia.
No, the one that we played.
Phasmophobia.
No, the one we played
the other
in
one,
the space
Lethal
one.
Company.
Lethal
Lethal
Company.
Company,
Yeah.
yeah.
So everybody's really getting in on that board, I think. You're on that bandwagon.
I think so. It feels that way, but some people play as the bad guys instead of it just being random. So it's interesting.
Asymmetric freaking. What does that remind me of? Left 4 Dead 2 is what that reminds me of.
Yeah.
All right. How about Battle Aces? Don't know what
so
this
we
is.
actually all saw this trailer somewhere, but they showed it again at PC Gamer Show. It was this crazy anime trailer that was looked nuts.
This is the RTS, the RTS with the bad, the guy talking about it sucked, but what they showed from the game looked kind of great. Yeah.
But they showed more, including Tasteless and Artosis need to pay their bills, so they were out shilling for this game now too. It's apparently it's going to be quite fun. Very different take. It's kind of a deck builder. It's like asymmetrical, but it's not really different races. Everyone can build their own decks from the same pool of units and fight each other. It looks interesting. Like I'm, in a time where we're like, man, if there's no StarCraft, there's no RTS. We're now getting, I think, 4 or 5 of these like competitive RTS candidates on the horizon. Battle Aces, 0 Point, Stormgate, like there's a whole bunch that are going to be hitting soon. And this is another one. And I mean, that anime was killer. So.
Oh yeah, the art. I love this animation.
I would definitely look forward to checking this out and seeing if I like it or not. I don't know. I'm on the fence, but the animation, the marketing was top notch.
I wish what they could do, I wish they would just say, hey, here's this game. It's coming out. But what we really want to announce today is a 10-episode, 5-season TV show based on this shit. Because look at this.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Ugh, I would love that. That's what I like in my anime is what you're looking at right there. If you ever wanted to know what Scott likes. No relationship crap. I don't need people telling each other how much they love or how depressed the kid is. I don't need any of that.
Yeah.
Bring me
Drama,
this.
ugh.
Bring me this.
Robots, please. Robots and missiles.
Next up, a game I played a bit of, Citizen Sleeper 1. This is a sequel to that, Citizen Sleeper 2.
I
thought
played
John
the
played
first
it
game
too.
as well.
Oh,
Yep.
you did? No, I didn't.
It was
I
cool.
forgot
It was
about
very
that.
cool.
It's a very cool game, right?
Yeah.
I assume
why I brought it.
more of the same and better.
Yeah,
and,
I don't know much about it. I haven't played the first one myself, so I couldn't tell you. It made me think of you two because I know you both got into it, and there's another one coming. So
Yeah, the dice system is really what pulled me in. I like that. I like dice in games. I wish there was more.
I should check it out. Tharsis was a dicey survival game that I got into, and that was fun. So I'm sure
It's a weird mix of like dicey gameplay, but with a heavy branching type narrative sort of thing based on your choices. So it's a little bit of both of those things.
It's also, if you don't, how do I put this? Go in being prepared to be very frustrated at what some things you decide to do, when you decide to do them, and what your stats are at any given time. They will adversely affect your ability to use the dice you want to use. Whether it's a fight or a conversation or whatever, your dice can get really borked by you not having enough food, enough sleep. Like this, this isn't a casual game. There's a lot going on here.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, what's that game that Bo likes so much that I played as well?
Orc Massage 2.
No, the narrative heavy one.
Guy that has a heart attack and dies for 5 seconds.
Where you play as the detective.
Disco Elysium. Disco
Elysium, yes. It's kind of like Disco Elysium in that you're not going to get an optimal playthrough most likely. You just kind of have to take the narrative and take the story you get for what it is.
Yeah.
It's another one of those.
Yeah. Totally agree. All right, let's talk about Unrailed 2. I never played 1. It always looked
Yeah.
interesting. Tell me about this.
Didn't John play Unrailed one? This is mainly for John
I
because he
don't
liked
think-
train games.
He
I
does
don't
like
think
trains.
so. I don't think I played on.
Okay.
Well, the first
Well-
one was like Overcooked, but with trains, right? Am I wrong in calling it that? Maybe.
Yeah, it's
maybe
a
not.
co-op
Oh.
multiplayer game.
I thought you played Unrailed. Okay, well,
No.
I'm letting you know it exists. So.
Well, get ready for 2.
I'm ready for 2. That's about as much as I have to say. I just thought it'd be something up your alley.
This next one, Tactical Breach Wizards. I'm actually in some kind of list to get keys for this. I hope they come soon because I've been looking at this
shit.
for a long time.
Hey, poke 'em and say there's 2 other people on the show. too.
Yeah, I absolutely will. This is well. I mean, when I first even heard about it, I was so stoked.
Tom Francis isn't his PC Gamer guy?
Yeah, his stuff is always
Gunpoint stuff.
ever since he quit PC Gamer UK. Every game he's put out, I have loved, and I have no doubt this is going to be awesome. So
Yeah, but
Bring
this
it
is
on.
the case of someone who left the journalism industry and is making games, right? So he's been working on this one for a while.
Yep.
And this was announced a while ago. It's not new, but I think it's coming out fairly soon.
they've been at it for a
And
while.
It also has a demo, so if you want to try it,
Yeah.
try it. It's a tactical game, and you're a wizard.
Yep.
Like the name's right there. You're a wizard.
It's
you're
a
doing-
wizard SWAT team, basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's instead of a Navy SEAL, he is called a Navy Seer. The rebel pilot riot priest. Like they're taking these wizardy concepts and then moving him into like a modern tactical thing. It looks like it might be, just the right amount of tongue in cheek and some really great looking tactical stuff. I'm very excited about that game. What else we got here? Screenbound. Oh, yeah,
I wanted
dude.
to show you this one. I don't even think I understand what's going on, except when you input, you're in a 3D first-person world, but also you have a handheld Game Boy.
Yeah.
And when you move in the game as well as in the other game world, and somehow you got to do both. But I don't know.
Yeah, it's
That's
hard to
what I
say
get
how
from
it's
the
going to
trailer,
work.
But I'm like,
yeah.
is this even fun? It had a handheld in it, so I know you'd like it, Scott. So I was like, let me
love
bring
it.
this one and show it to you.
This scratches a bunch of potential itches. I can't tell where you're supposed to focus. Like, am I?
Both. The
I
answer
guess.
is both.
I guess
you gotta
both.
focus on both.
Yeah, it's probably fair, but it seems like you almost could stare at the little screen and get more done. I don't know.
Because the little screen doesn't give you depth.
That's true, but it does give you a sense of. I don't know. It seems so cool to me. This is really high on my list of like curiosity. I don't know whether it'll be great or not, but I sure do respect what they're trying to do here. This is
And
crazy.
the novelty factor is very high, and I mean, who knows? But it looked neat, so
Yeah, pretty excited about that.
If playing one game isn't enough for you, try Screenbound. You'll play 2 games at the same time.
This next one reminds me of something that Liam said. I would like to just share it real quick. He sent me a message and said, "Hold on, shit."
He said, "Hold on, shit."
He's
Hold
talking.
on, shit.
He was talking about
He said,
Batman
"Oh."
VR. He said that in the Batman VR, we have an excellent actor playing Batman. His name is Roger Craig Smith. He's been Batman before. Also, he's been Sonic,
That name.
Ezio.
Oh yeah, that's why I know him. He's
yeah,
Sonic.
He's Sonic. He's Ezio. He's Chris Redfield for a while. Anyway, sounds like he might be great at the job.
Oh,
but-
about this VR games. Yeah,
Yeah.
we kind of covered them, I think, probably on the Game Fest. I think that's when they came up, but I wanted to also just drop them here that I'm kind of stoked for both. The Batman. I hope the Batman game's good. It's the Walking Dead guys working on it, so I think it's going to be good.
Yeah.
And Behemoth gameplay looked pretty solid, so I'm stoked for that one too.
Nice.
Yeah, no, not much to say. Just mentioning them as like for VR things that are on the horizon that actually look hype. Those 2 caught my attention, as well as the Metro game. I think I'm hoping the Metro game's going to be really good.
And that's based on the Metro series.
Yeah.
Okay.
Metro 2033. And
Well, here's an adjacent kind of game, Stalker 2. We saw the trailer at the Xbox event, but now we're getting a gameplay thing.
there was gameplay, I think, at the Xbox One too.
Was there? I don't remember being much.
Yeah, they
Okay.
did. I mean, it looks pretty generic, right? Like, because the game's vibe is shitty. It's like browns and greens, and
Yeah.
they don't have fancy sci-fi guns. They have like normally guns. And but they the gameplay did look pretty intense. Like the actual shooting dudes and monsters and the overall world looked good. So yeah, I don't think what you're showing. I think that's an earlier one. I think maybe. Oh no, this is it. This is it for sure.
One, right? Yeah, because he goes out and does some outside.
He goes out
stuff.
and says, "Oh my God, it's outside. I haven't seen outside in many years,
many times ago." Here's the thing: this is that team that got delayed horribly on the release of this thing. It was supposed to be already out, but it got delayed because they are a Ukrainian developer, and the war hit, and they got they had to get moved, and it was awful and all that.
They
so
say first and all that, but it looks like pretty detailed. I don't know. It looks. There's something about this where I'm like, I could see myself getting. I couldn't play the older Stalker games, which is way too old, and I don't have a nostalgia for them because I never played them originally. But I could see myself getting into this. Some of the areas do look pretty photorealistic in a weird way. Like, not entirely, but it looks good, man. Like good in a shitty way.
Yeah,
like it looks appropriately shit. But like the vibe is like on point, you know. So I don't know.
Very Wasteland. I'm not a giant fan of Dark Corridor stuff, and there's a bunch of that in the Stalker games. But I
same reason why I like Metro. It's like this, like, you know, weird boxes with dials on them, like makeshift guns that like are not from a manufacturer, but like repaired to just work and function.
Yeah,
and there's some intense violence too. Obviously, this guy's gonna get his head stuck on the mirror pole.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of low key stoked for this game. I want it to be like, if it comes out and it's like tens, like I'm gonna buy it and play it.
Looks like a get for you. Yeah. Derek in our chat said, "I don't smoke, but if I did, I'd play this game while I was high." All right.
There you go.
Stalker, play it while you're high. You heard it here first.
Was that about Stalker? Or was that about the playing on two screens?
Oh, good point.
That, but if you don't because you don't smoke, I will explain to you, because I did spend a year high off my ass. It was hard to play games. I couldn't play games. It was like a problem. It was a problem I had.
When I had those gummies,
because you just kind of want to sit and think. You're like, this is funny. Like, you stop playing them. Like you know.
I had this thing happen when I had those gummies in Vegas. It did one of two things: made it so everything was just weird and incomprehensible. And why am I playing it? Like you're saying, or I would get way hyper focused into what I'm playing and play it for 4 hours longer than I would normally. Oh. And it was always like, well, which way is this going to go tonight?
It turned every game into Civilization.
Yeah, but I can tell you that reading a book while on a edible, what a waste of time that is. Holy shit.
Yeah. You know what is a recommended activity would be watching episodes of There Will Be Dungeons. That's a good thing to do while high, because that's funny.
I like that.
Everything's like 5 times funnier than it actually happened.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Look at this list that we've gotten through. We've done it, guys. Now, there was plenty more. We didn't, the goal was not to cover every single thing talked about or announced, but we wanted to get the ones that jumped out to the three of us. Also, I'm really glad Bo got to see the PC Gamer thing. Can you give me like an overall up or down on how that particular event went?
Do you remember watching other PC Gamer shows?
Yeah, they were always bad. They're always pretty bad.
It's literally that. Bad jokes, scripted thing. It was the Mika and Day 9 special that you always get, which it's like you like them, but you can't really compliment them. You don't want to say anything too mean because they're nice people and they're great, but at the same time, it's cheesy and not great. And it was a lot of it was packed. Like there was, I don't know if this is how many games they normally have, but it felt like just trailer after trailer after trailer after trailer, and I was like, oh my god, like so much.
I didn't know Day 9 was I haven't seen him in a while. He's a bald man. He has no hair now.
I think he just went for the full bald. I think when it starts to go up your head, you just feel more comfortable with it off.
I thought about shaving it once just because I felt like I would have less to worry about in the morning, John, is that true? I mean, is it a nice...
I mean, sort of. It gets a little more annoying because when it grows back, it looks really bad. So I feel like I have to worry about my hair like in a different way more often now.
Yeah.
Like anytime I take a shower now, I use that like the pit bull or whatever, shaver thing because it just looks so terrible if I let it grow.
Yeah.
So I didn't fuss when I had hair that much over it, and so it kind of feels like I worry about it more now that I have less.
Oh, interesting. Because you don't want it
But,
to. You're trying to make sure the stubble isn't where you want it to
well,
be.
yeah, because I don't look like Patrick Stewart when it grows in. I look bad when it grows in. It doesn't look good. So it's like now I have to put more effort into it.
You ever thought about looking like the music teacher from The Simpsons, like just full?
Right.
There is a part of me that's like, well, it'd be a lot easier to just let it grow, like do a Hulk Hogan, put a bandana over my head and pretend like this bit is my whole head. But I don't like it. I always was of the mind, as somebody who had a dad who was bald, I always said, if the hair starts to go, it all goes. And that's exactly what happened. I didn't realize I was balding. I didn't have a great eye for it. And I heard some people talking about me behind my back and went, do I have thinning hair? And I asked my parents, I was like, is my hair thinning? And they're like, yeah, it is. And I was like, well, we're shaving it. So that's basically how it went.
But you may want to consider going Dewey Largo. I just looked it up with his name.
That's his name. The music teacher is Dewey Largo.
That's
Dewey
crazy.
Largo.
I didn't even realize.
I didn't know that either.
Didn't know
This
he
is
was
him though.
Gay.
This is him, chat. Is he gay?
It says, well, according to SimpsonWiki.com.
Does him and Smithers ever have like an episode of Discovery?
He was once in a large car crash and was rescued from the same car as Waylon Smithers and was quick to state that they were just carpooling.
That's
Later,
great.
He was in a gay pride parade and quickly changed the subject when he was asked about it. He was later seen trying to enter the League of Extra Horny Gentlemen and being denied entrance by the doorman.
Extra horny gentleman.
Shortly after that, he outed himself when he ran away with his boyfriend, also named Dewey. At some point, he entered a relationship and got married to Grady Little.
Don't remember any of this.
However, that relationship didn't last long as he ended up in a relationship with Jeffrey. They own a dog together, Puccini.
Okay.
He was once hit on by drunken Edna Crabapple, who proclaimed she could get Largo on Broadway if he gave her one night.
It was Crabapple, but I'll take it. It'll
Crabapple,
work.
yeah, sorry.
John, this is your future. I don't know if you're seeing today's stream, but this is you one day. This guy right here. Hans Molman.
I was saying Boo Earns.
I said Boo Earns.
Oh, no. Here I go.
I love him so much. Oh my gosh, you're making me want to watch a compilation. All right, that is going to do it for all of that. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have some games that we're playing right now. Dear Martha, your texts and more.
Yeah. That was that wasn't even a third of the games they showed.
Yeah. It's
just not including some. There was a lot of content this past weekend.
It was a lot. I would actually argue I feel like we got more actual game announcements than E3 ever gave us.
Yeah, but presented in a maybe less fun to make fun of.
Oh no, I agree with that, but it just feels like volume-wise, it was like, what's going on? I thought this industry was in trouble.
We want Humble Bumble to come back.
Maybe this is a sign of the trouble. You're just so front-loaded for these. Are we heading toward a slowdown? And I don't know what to make of this industry sometimes. It's so weird.
I think it's like there's a lot of customers, right? But also it feels very thick and saturated with a lot of the samey. Like how many games are third person? Kill some shit, collect games. Is everyone going to buy all of them? No. What ends up getting purchased? Like,
I mean, even looking at I went to download some of those Next Fest demos because that's going on, and you just look down the list of what's popular, and it is so much of the same genre tags on these games as you go down the list. It's like survival action shooter adventure open world, survival action adventure strategy exploration management, extraction shooter horror military. It just feels like there's so many of these same type of game, and that's just PC, some indie, some bigger studio stuff. And even with as much as they announced, like it's a small amount compared to what seems to just pop up on Steam fairly frequently.
Every other day it feels like. Well, we'll talk more about what we played and whether it fit any of those categories coming up after this break. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Dr. Pepper's now more popular than Pepsi. It's second best-selling drink in the world. It surpassed Pepsi.
Dr. Pepper's pretty good.
I like Dr. Pepper.
They have
as
a
well.
Dr. Pepper Zero because they don't try not to drink the sugary drinks
They
anymore.
do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they
Lots of
do.
them. Lots of flavors. I like the Dr. Pepper Zero Cherry. It's very good.
They have Dr. Green Pepper.
No. They got Jumble Force Zero. It's very
Jumble
good.
Force
Habanero pepper.
Yeah, habanero. It's very good. All right.
Spicy Pepsi would be terrible.
The Coke Spice thing they made is awful. Do not get that.
Yeah, that's not good.
Real bad. Okay, we're going to be...
Okay.
Let's see. Is it working? It is. We're back,
Well-
everybody. Welcome back to the program. It's time for us to dig into the games we played. Stick around, though, because we got a Dear Martha based on a user submission. Ooh. Still improv, but, the idea came from a listener. Anyway, we're going to get right to it with the games that we played, and here we go. I played some games. First, let me start with the most surprising and delightful thing of 2024 that I have played. And that's, I feel like I may say that a lot, but I really mean it with this game.
I mean it this time.
This time I'm serious. All right, so it's called Mini Shoot Adventure.
You
Shoot.
talked about this before, I think, right?
Yeah, and you went...
Because I have it on my wish list, and I was like, I certainly didn't add this on my own.
That is correct. I'm pretty sure it came up here because someone in the community had recommended it. They said, you really got to play this. It's perfect for Steam Deck, blah, blah, blah. All the reasons, people tell me about games. And I kind of put it off and forgot about it. And the other day I was digging through the store and I see this thing and I went, oh, right, this was supposed to be rad. And I, caught up on what the person had said. And a few listeners had actually recommended it. I'm sorry I don't have your names. But I feel stupid for sitting or sleeping on this because this game is so cool. So it's basically a twin-stick shooter is the gameplay for most of the game. But the entire game is structured like a traditional Zelda game. And by that I mean
Neat.
puzzles and areas and the way you unlock them and dungeons. Essentially, they're dungeons. The map you traverse, the secret you uncover, your ability to get places that at first seemed impossible, but later you get an ability to let you do it. That kind of stuff. Like all those trappings of the Zelda universe, they're in here. And I mean, like, traditional Zelda, not so much the Breath of the Wild business, but like, old school SNES and NES and, those kind of Zelda games. And when you're doing combat, though, you're playing bullet helly sort of dual stick skill shooter, which is a very interesting new way to be doing something while you're trying to kill enemies and unlock things and get to chests and that sort of stuff, or the equivalent of chests. But it's this adorable little top-down thing where your ship is kind of cute even, and the world is also cute. Two-man team did this. And it is so good. The reviews are off the charts. Like it's as close to 100% as you get. And they're right to like it as much as they did. I got completely lost in this thing and just absolutely loving it. It might be the best thing for the Steam Deck you can buy right now. And here's the reason. And that's true for a controller on a PC as well. But some games, how their strength lies sometimes in just how they feel. Like if they didn't feel so good, you'd hop off because otherwise it would make it tedious or something. Games are going to be different. Your mileage may vary, but this game has such amazing feel to it. The control is just not effortless. I don't know what the word is I'm looking for here. It just feels right. What you want to see happen is happening, and it's doing it in a way that's really satisfying. And the control of the ship and the way it shoots. And the way your abilities work is just so simple, but also precise, and just has a feel that makes you want to keep coming back. It's a big surprise for me, even though everybody told me I was going to like it. Turns out they were right. And there's a big upgrade tree, and you get extra abilities. In Zelda games, it's like, well, I can't do whatever it needs to be done there. I'll come back later. And then you get the boomerang, and you're like, oh, shit, that thing I couldn't do at the beginning, I can do that now because I have a boomerang. Well, this game's like that, but it's like a ship upgrade. And the ship upgrade might be a turbo boost, or it might be an extra, piece to make your gun shoot farther, or whatever the thing is. You unlock those as you go along. It even has basically heart containers, except they're shield containers. So it's aping in a way that it feels very it's honoring the source material. None of this feels like a ripoff. But there are moments like, oh yeah, I'm getting a piece of a shield, and if I get all 4 pieces, now I have a new shield, which happens to also be a heart shape, but it's blue and polygonal. But it's still basically a Zelda heart. Anyway, I'm not like incredibly far, but I'm far enough to know that this is very, very well made and extremely. You can tell somebody got some real passion about a thing, and I can't wait to play more. So a no-brainer at $15. That's the other thing, is that's not even a sale price. It's just cheap.
Yeah, it seems cool.
Yeah.
Seems like a cool idea.
It's
Cool
really,
way to
really good.
Kind of do something familiar but different.
Yeah, for sure. Like they took what makes, well, I can say it 50 other ways. It really all just comes down to, hey, do you like the structure of a good Zelda game? Do you like a dual stick shooter? Good news.
We got both of those.
We have those 2 things in this game, and they're both extremely well made. So, yeah, I think people will like it. Don't take my word for it. Try it out. If you get a refund, fine, but I bet you won't. I bet you keep it. All right, that's one that I played. I didn't have a ton of other time. I've given a little bit of time to a new game that, again, came as a recommendation first from the community, and then I checked it out. It is a game called SKALD Against the Black Priory. Now, that sounds like a highfalutin RPG of some sort. Well, you'd be correct. This is a game by one dude, and it is...
Oh, I've seen this. This is on my wish list. It looks interesting.
It's very cool. So you take the aesthetic of like old-ass computer RPGs from the DOS era. That's how things look. And then throw in the more like modern sensibilities when it comes to like dialogue trees and turn-based combat and some of those things that you would get in more modern games. That's the game. It's the combination of those things. And it's very, very cool and compelling and retro and new at the same time. And I am having a ball with this so far. I'm not super far. I've unlocked only a few abilities that I didn't have prior. I'm playing a wizard. Like if you come to me and say, Scott, is this like on the level of Baldur's Gate 3? Well, no, but it's not trying to be.
No. I would think as soon as you see the retro style, it's clearly
it's going to tell you.
No,
it's trying to be like old box TSR D&D games. But
absolutely. Yeah.
Slightly better looking than that, but still.
Yeah, I would say, if you liked the way if you like the old Ultima games, like there's a lot of that here, I think. But also like OG Baldur's Gate vibes, and it takes itself very seriously like those old games did. And it is also enjoying 97% reviews on Steam. I'm picking some winners. All right.
It's got a real crunchy look. I like it.
Yeah, it's overwhelmingly positive too, which shocked me because you look at a game like this, and often they find an audience, but they're not that heavily well reviewed. So its audience really likes it. It's
like this.
I'm probably going to play it at some point. I'm very curious about it.
It feels like up your alley, dude, for real. And I love this review. Baldur's Gate 3 is like a pretentious fine dining experience where your date rewards you by sending you some nudes, but doesn't want to get into bed with you. Starfield and Diablo are like going to Gordon Ramsay's famous restaurant to order the most expensive course and ended up being served some outdated salad. SKALD Against the Black Priory, however, is like going back to your grandma's house, and she cooks you that awesome hearty meal that you've always loved as a kid and makes you tear up after all the years of lonesome adulthood in a world where studios with AAA resources just somehow don't remember how to make a fun RPG game. A true masterpiece defining what it means to have a renaissance of fantasy RPG.
Wow, that was truly something.
That was surely something.
Anyway, there you go.
Yeah,
well, now
people
we
are
know.
happy with their purchase when
they are very happy. That is a cool game, and I would recommend it. So far, I'm having a ball. It has a great fog of war vibe to not knowing what's around the corner, which is very D&D for me. So it feels very D&D in a lot of ways. And you get a party eventually. I'm still just a dude, but you do party up. I think you have 6 in your party at one point. But I'm still doing stuff where it's early in the story. So anyway, I'd recommend it pretty highly.
You roll your own character on this one and then meet other characters, right?
Correct. Yep. And you can be very custom with how you do that. You assign your points. It's all the stuff you love about that kind of RPG. It doesn't do any of it for you. You kind of have to choose, well, I want this much intelligence and I want less perception and, all that. It's cool. SKALD Against the Black Priory. Very cool game. Check it out. Finally, check this out. Brian Dunaway, good friend of the network, old friend of mine, known him forever. I do play retro with him. He sent me the coolest thing. This may look to you like a Nintendo GBA SP.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Does that
I
make...
love it so much.
I know. All I had to do is open it, and John's like all in. This is basically... Well, this is Anbernic's new thing. Here, I'll just run some game. It is their... This is actually called an SP. The full name is, let's see.
Is it 4 shoulder buttons?
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah, it does. So two on each side, it's 2 in the middle. This plays up to Dreamcast and I can't remember what all. Dreamcast, PlayStation, PSP, Game Boy Advance, bunch of arcade stuff, and you're getting your GBA sounds coming out of there. Anyway, everything you'd think it would play, it plays. Oh, it plays Quake, for hell's sake. A bunch of PC games. Crazy. Anyway, it's awesome so far. I love this thing. He sent it to me as a gift. It was the nicest thing in the world to get this in the mail. I'm eternally grateful.
Oh, my goodness.
And it's they're not currently on Amazon, although I think they're headed there. Maybe by now they are. They were originally just on the Anbernic site. It sleeps, so when you shut it, puts the little game to sleep in there. Battery life's real good. You can put your own SD cards in there. Also has Wi-Fi, so you can do a bunch of stuff with that and do the achievements, the retro achievements thing that are really popular right now. USB-C charging, has output for HDMI if you want to. You could Bluetooth a controller into this if you want.
You can TV the damn thing.
Yeah, you can do all kinds of crazy shit with this thing. And it's this little
you
tiny...
can Bluetooth a controller?
Yep, totally. You Bluetooth
That is
controller.
my
It's just it's a Switch.
That's my favorite Game Boy form factor ever.
Oh, by far.
I think this is you are holding the version of the Game Boy that is my all-time favorite.
Same.
Oh,
I
covet thee, Scott Johnson. I covet thee.
I love the GBA SP back in the day so much. I think I own 2 of them. I got the NES colored one, and then I got a silver one. And when they announced this, and this is already their highest selling model they've ever done, of course, because this is nostalgic as hell.
Because look, we all know which one was the best one.
Yeah, we know. We've been there. We know what's up. And this game, replaceable battery is just nice too. So if you ever do need to do that, you can. Anyway, very, very pleased with it so far. So far, there's no I don't know of any replacement OSs. The OS that's with it is fine. It's just gets the job done. I'm sure that someone's going to be hacking the hell out of one of these, and before I know it, I'll be some compelling reason to upgrade to a different OS or whatever. But yeah, this is the nicest thing anyone's ever sent me, maybe. Anyway, he's awesome. Cool. So Dunaway, this one goes out to you. And I think when these are new, or when you'll be able to get them on Amazon, I think they're as low as...
Does it have 64 gigs of space on there? That's huge considering the size of those games.
Well, this one's got I might have. Oh no, this isn't my card. This card's got 128.
There's a 128. Yeah. I'm just saying it's a lot of space for the kinds of games you can.
Oh yeah,
can fit a lot of stuff on that.
If you guys let's see. Let me find this. Let me look at the Dreamcast group. Hold on a second. We have to exit this GBA game. Okay, hurry up. There we go. All right, so
it's cheaper than.
I know.
I think the Anbernic we had before. It's 64 US.
$64 is all. Isn't that crazy?
Oh my goodness.
I know. It's really tempting.
So good.
It's very tempting.
Say goodbye to $70, John.
And
I'm trying not to. I already bought all my Father's Day stuff.
N64, DS games. What else? Game Gear, Game Boy Color, PC Engine, Wonder Swan, stuff I don't care about. Sega 32X is on here. The Sega CD, the Genesis, GBAs, Super Nintendo, bunch of computer stuff, PSP, there it is, Dreamcast and PlayStation. The Dreamcast games straight up, Crazy Taxi 2, Power Stone, Soul Calibur, all these games, they run at 60 frames per second. The reason I know that is this thing has an option to display the frames per second.
Oh my God.
And it's fast as hell. Anyway, it's really rad. I highly recommend it. So far, having a blast with it. If you've held off on getting one of these handhelds for emulation, this might be the one.
Man, imagine
I
if
didn't
Anbernic.
hold off. I got one before, and now I want another one. What's right?
What is wrong with me? No, and look, I get how these are. I think I was going to get one of these anyway. He surprised me with it early, but pretty sure because of this form factor, they are going to sell so many of these. It'll be their heads are going to spin.
I don't really use my Anbernic, but I'm glad I have it. You know, like I'm just like, if there's ever a occasion where I want portable gaming, it's like the easiest thing to carry around. I'm happy I have it.
Yeah, and the fact that I can do up to Dreamcast is crazy on a device like this. Although, there's no, like say you can Bluetooth a controller in, but there's no analog sticks or anything. It keeps things nice and basic. Kind of the Nintendo layout of, D-pad, 2 shoulder pads, and your 4 face buttons. But it's enough for me and for the stuff I love. So anyway, rad device. Very happy with that. And he is a stud for showing it. All those colors I put in the dock are the ones you can get. These people really should pay us something for all this advertising we're giving them, but
I know they really should, or at least they could send us one.
Yeah,
or 3.
Or 3. Yeah. Hey, Dunaway, there are 3 hosts on this show. Just kidding. All right, so there's that, and then I spent a bunch of time in a game called Galacticare, and I installed Homeworld 3, and I've had no time to play Homeworld 3 and Galacticare. Not enough to talk about.
Is Galacticare a hospital sim in space?
It is. And it's reviewing well, and it looked neat. And I thought, you know what? Let's splurge and get that.
I thought it looked neat too, but I didn't pull the trigger on it.
From what I played so far, like tutorial stuff, it's very cool so far, and it seems right up. It's one of those things. But the twist is it's weird space diseases and really funky ways of dealing with them. The graphics are really nice, but I'm just not far enough.
Can you get space herpes like in the Ice Pirates?
I don't know. I hope so. I don't know. Everything I've done is all very mysterious so far. It's like, oh, she's got cosmic indigestion or some shit, and they're put her in the zip zap machine, and it's all just horse shit, but it's fun horse shit. And also, it has this little side thing where you can send a shuttle off to do other missions while you're working on your hospital. So you might get an emergency call from Zebedar 5, and they all have space madness or whatever, so you can send a little crew in the space shuttle off to do a thing, and then they'll come back later and we're successful at some percentage and bring you some resources and stuff. So there's like nice little tweaks like that. It's cool, but I just need more time with it, so hopefully next week I'll talk more about it.
I love that their more expensive version is called the placebo edition.
I think that their tongue is very firmly inside of their cheek, this developer, and they seem to know what they're doing. So anyway, so far so good. More on that later. John, tell me about Metal Slug Tactics, the demo that came out. I'm pissed because I didn't know about this like at all. They are piss poor at telling anybody what's happening. I'm mad at these people. So finally, this game might be coming. What's going on with it?
It is a cool tactics game. It's not the deepest tactics game ever. It definitely does plenty of its own thing, but it does exactly what I think it was that we wanted, which is, Scott, you and I love the Metal Slug art.
Big time.
I know the sprites, all of it. And what if you got to enjoy those sprites in a different type of game besides your typical Metal Slug game? This is exactly that. It's a tactics game with that kind of art and explosion and style and flair. And even some of those characters, I mean, the characters that I'm commanding are the characters that you play in Metal Slug typically. So I think it's really cool. It's surprisingly difficult. It seems real simplistic on the surface. And then all of a sudden it's like I got to, I think it was literally my second mission. And I was like, oh, this is going to be easy. And I just started getting wrecked. And I was like, well, I may not have paid as much attention during the tutorial as I should have, because I seem to be getting just devastated. But it does some unique things. There's some cool, like, tactical things that I haven't seen in other tactics games where, like, if one character is lined up for a shot and you take a shot with another character, you get a free bonus shot with the character they're synchronized with. So that sort of stuff is cool. And I thought, well, this is going to be crazy overpowered. And it seems like the game is definitely balanced around you taking good advantage of that. So I was not good with it. I was getting beaten up by the soldiers. But I'm having a good time with it. This will be an instant buy for me. Like I'm such a fan of the sprite work and the sounds and everything about Metal Slug. I just dig, and I like tactical games, so it's a good balance of both of those.
It just felt like forever. They announced it and then nothing for so long. I was worried this was just vaporware, but I'm so stoked that there's progress. They say there's also an update on the 4th or 3rd or something of this month where they said they are planning on a fall release, so we will get it this year.
Yeah,
and
it's another one of those Next Fest games. So if you want to try it yourself, go do it now. I don't know how long those are up. Some of those stay up forever, it feels like. Some of them go away when Next Fest is over, which, let me see if it says on Steam, goes to June 17th.
Okay.
So some of those demos may disappear by then. So if you want to try this, if you want to try any of the games that I mentioned had a demo when Bo was talking about the PC games, now's the time to do that.
Okay. Well, I'm fully in on this. Can't wait. What else you get up to? Oh, playing some Elden Ring, are we? Cool.
Yeah, so we're coming up on that Elden Ring DLC, and I thought, boy, I should probably figure out how to play Elden Ring again, because it's been since that game came out long since I played it, and I have a feeling it's not going to let me just steamroll through it the way maybe I did on a few of the bosses back in the day. In fact, I've even heard they have a system in place so that you can't just power level your way through the game. So I got in, I made a new character. I let the chat pick my class. Maybe not the best idea in the world. Yeah. They were kind of nice to me. They made me a caster class, which I've never played any of these games as. But I mean, it could have been worse. It could have been harder. And I got back into it, and Elden Ring's really good. It walks that perfect line that sometimes hits for me, sometimes doesn't with Dark Souls, where you play it, you get killed by something, you go, F this game, I'm never playing this game again. And then 10 minutes later, you come back and you pick up your controller and you go, okay, let's continue. I've had my anger, I'm ready to get back in. But I mean, Elden Ring still is just, to me, the perfect one of these games. The ability to, I got up to the first boss. I was not in a good place to fight him, especially being a magic class where I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing as this class. I was not ready to face him. And the thing that's great about Elden Ring, for anybody that hasn't played it yet, is that by being open world, when you get to a boss you can't beat, Dark Souls is very much okay, we'll run back to your corpse over and over and over again and just keep doing that nonstop.
Yeah.
Elden Ring is like, oh, you got to a boss you couldn't beat? All right, well, why don't you go explore the open world? Why don't you go do something else? Go find something else to do. And just by proxy of doing that, you get stronger and you will eventually be able to beat the boss that you're stuck on. It's a very smart element of their design. In addition to other quality of life upgrades, like I know, Scott, you hate the run back to your body.
I really hate it. Yeah.
Elden Ring is absolutely chock full of they have the the bonfire equivalents that all the Souls games do, but they also have these stakes of somebody, some name with an M, like everybody in this video game, that are like kind of continuation points that are put around close to areas where the difficulty spikes, it feels like, and you do get an option to restart at the bonfire or the stake. So there's very rarely times where you have significant long run backs to where you died. You may sometimes choose not to pursue, what you've dropped, because you may just go, you know what, there's no way I'm going to be able to beat it. But you frequently feel like you can get right back and try again. And I think that I think that really helps. And I think that's why you might actually like this game if you ever do come to it, Scott, which
Yeah.
is that it's not a big, long run back. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it's punishing. But you don't have to. You have a lot of nice quality of life things to help you through it.
I mean, I own it on, I think it's on my Series X. I probably should just get it on Steam and just freaking. Why don't I play this? Why don't I play this game? What's wrong with me? I should just play this game. You know?
Yeah.
Yep.
I should let my soul's bullshit push it to the side for a minute and accept
Just see.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, every time I think about it a lot, honestly. I wish it would just go on sale so I just feel slightly better about it. You know what I mean?
I mean, it might with the expansion coming out. Maybe you can get a deal, but
Yeah. I'll watch
I also
for it.
don't know because sometimes these games just they know that you will pay full price forever for it, and that's what they're gonna have you do. But yeah, I'm really loving it. It was something that I thought I was gonna do for one stream as a bit of a laugh, and I keep finding myself loading it back up and playing more of it and exploring further because it's really addictive in that way.
DLC soon, right? When do we get that?
It's the 20 something, I think.
Of this month of June.
Let me see.
Yeah, it's like
this.
next week, I think.
Oh, good Lord.
Is it next week?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Ring time.
Yep.
Yeah, June 20th.
Prepare thyselves, everyone.
Prepare
Excellent.
thy maidenless personage.
Speaking of preparing for additional content, you're still busy doing that in Final Fantasy 14, I take it?
Yeah, we're 2 weeks out from that.
Oh, no.
Speaking of games that were gonna take up a lot of time, yeah, we're 2 weeks out from the Final Fantasy expansion. A lot of new information came out. They had a big media event, so there was a lot of news that came out of that. A lot of new video and stuff to enjoy, and I watched a lot of it. I enjoyed a lot of it, and it made me just so eager for the expansion to be here because yes, new story, new bosses, new raids, all the usual MMO stuff I'm excited about, sure. But it's, obviously the little things that are like the big things, grass that doesn't look like it's made out of Minecraft blocks. Better looking character models. I can't tell you how cool the new texture on like any armors that have gotten their graphic improvements look. Like cloth looks like cloth, metal looks like metal, leather looks like leather, like in a really good way. And then the big thing, and this will not surprise anybody that knows my WoW proclivities, the armor dye system, which is really good, lets you basically dye almost whatever armor you have in the game. They are now adding a second layer of dye to it, so you get to pick 2 colors on any armor dye that you put on. And that's a level of customization I can get behind. I'm so stoked for it.
Oh, I'm looking at, there's a whole video on the Dawntrail benchmark trailer. Wow. I didn't know they'd updated so much stuff. This looks so much better, dude.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's like, you gotta kind of see it in motion. Like, screenshots are one thing. You're like, yes, I see that quality has improved. But there's something about seeing it in action, in motion, playing with the character creator, because I did download the benchmark and tried it. There's something about just seeing it and being able to turn your character around and go, oh wow, yeah, they really did a lot. They did a lot in a smart way where it doesn't feel like the game is suddenly a completely different game. Which is good because they aren't updating everything. So, I remember I went back to EverQuest at one point where they had done like, we've high-res certain zones, and it was really jarring because you would go from this zone that looked like original EverQuest, and then all of a sudden there would be a texture that would look amazing by comparison.
Yeah, and the player updates in EQ were weird because they did look a lot better, but you would go to places where there was such old, flat terrain that you just looked at a place like you were floating there. I don't know. It felt almost like a glitch.
Yeah.
It's hard to do. It's a hard thing to do.
It's a hard balance, and so they have found a way to walk that, I think, really well, where things look a lot better, but not in such a big way that you go, oh, this game's different, or when you see something that didn't get touched or updated, you go, oh, what's happening?
Yeah.
So
I mean, the benchmarks are pretty impressive. Like this big troll-looking dude. Jeez Louises. This is a huge improvement. And these aren't mods. This is the base game, right? I mean, this is them.
Yeah,
Base game, but
there's no mods on this. This is just the game running as is, and yeah, this is the benchmark. So this is literally someone running it too.
This looks fantastic.
It's all in-game assets and stuff.
Well, sign me up. Literally, I think I'm paying them now, so I just need to play.
Are you paying?
Yeah, keep going, Scott.
Keep going.
Plugging away at it.
Yeah, I think I only played a few hours for the whole month that I just paid for, but I just been busy. But anyway, we'll get back to it. Bo Eternal, Doom Eternal, Bo Eternal, Boom Eternal. Jumbleforce.com.
Jumble Force strikes again.
What's going on in there? Are you enjoying yourself in Doom Eternal?
Yeah, so I've been, with all these games to play, I've been having a lot of, what do they call it? Decision paralysis.
Yeah.
Choice paralysis.
Big same. Yeah.
I can't find a flavor that I'm into. It's been pretty frustrating, actually. Like everything I second guess or don't play very much and go, eh. But I got real excited about the Doom announcement, and a game that always I can log into and just get into real quick and easy is Doom Eternal. I really like this game. It's easy to press play and go, and I got sucked in. So I did another playthrough of the campaign, and I'm working on the DLC yet again.
Oh, you already beat the... Wow. All right.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's...
Is it short?
It's not a long game. I think you can get through... Well, I've also played the campaign like 6 times now.
Good Lord.
I know where all the collectibles are. I can get through pretty quick. I'm not playing on Nightmare. I'm playing just on Hurt Me Plenty because it's a more fun, casual run. But I did realize I haven't finished it on Ultra Nightmare, which is just one life, no extra lives kind of thing. And I'm like, I don't know if I can do that, but
seems like a lot.
It's a hill to climb. Like it's something fun to try or something. I don't know, but
yeah.
I'm just having a more fun. Let me see the story again. Again, it's one of those things where you just like turn on games and you're like, is this going to interest me? And I started playing that first level and I was like, man, this game it's just good. It's just soul food. I don't know. And I know we talk a lot about the differences between 2016 and Eternal, and I don't really disagree. I just think this one's much easier to... It's much more of a video game, I guess, rather than like a survival horror, and that like makes it easy to play, I guess,
Sure.
And I've just been enjoying it.
Nice.
Nothing
new
to say.
I have to admit, though,
I have the comments about it.
This does keep happening, though. I see this trailer for the new Doom, and I go, oh, I could play Doom.
Yeah.
I could play Doom, Because I'm having some similar issues right now. I'm having like this look at my library and go, I guess I'm not playing anything right now,
I mean,
I don't know what's
sometimes there's a clarity of focus when you sit down, play a game, and then you get into it, and it's not letting you go, and you're like, I know what I want to do. I know what I'm interested. And like a lot of games look and feel interesting, there's nothing wrong with them per se, but I'm just not getting sucked into it for whatever reason.
I think that's why I was so happy when I found this mini shoot adventure thing, because I'd been on a real dry run and like I don't know what I want to do. And then that thing was just like a breath of fresh air. So it can happen. You just have to search and look and find it.
It's harder with new games too. I feel like I've spent a lot on what are arguably, very quality games, interesting things, but I still, when you're just like thinking about other stuff, like you're not getting into it.
Yeah.
And I was really, I think a big part of it was, I've sort of done my Heroes of the Storm nostalgia tour because I really got into playing Heroes. That's very easy to play. Yeah. But I'm at a point now where, I got 100 loot boxes. I leveled all the characters up by one, and I've played a ton, and I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm sated. And I'm like, I need something else. I think, WoW Sod Phase 4 is going to be starting soon. But I think I'm going to limit my playtime to like once a week. I've got to stick to that because it's an older game. And while it's fun to play, I need to focus on some other things. I just feel giving too much time to it's not the best use of my time.
Sure.
Because the other thing that I want to do is I want to spend some more time, get back to the Godot game dev thing.
Yeah.
I had a real arc where I was doing that stuff. And that stuff kind of fell by the wayside, mainly as I stopped working, I sort of prioritized like doing stream things.
Yeah.
And streaming is like a funny thing because you're like, I guess I should do it, but it's hard. Like I can't do creative stuff while I'm on there, right? Like
Yeah.
I just need quiet time,
Right.
and it's sort of, and streaming's like, why don't you stream for 14 hours, or like you could. It just fills, the time fills up, and like I don't do anything fancy. I don't plan streams to try and get views. I just turn on the video game. Arguably not a great strategy for that kind of thing. So I don't know. I'm sort of I'm in a repurposing mode where I'm like, I need to use my time better. I feel like, after changing things up for a little bit, and so we have a Wacom in the house. I plugged it in and tried drawing, and oh boy, I'm not good. Like, I don't know what I'm thinking trying to make games, at least with any kind of art, because like, oh my god, my drawing is so shit. Like it's embarrassing. So, but that's kind of where I'm at. I'm trying not to be too discouraged if I drew some shit. And I'm like, well, we're making a bricks game. We're gonna make a game that's gonna have bricks in it. It's gonna be squares.
Sure. I'll bet you're better. I bet your art's better than you think. You just, everyone's their worst critic.
It's written. No. It's actually legit. Like I've spent no part of my life practicing drawing. Like it's not good.
Well, sure, but everybody starts bad, and everybody is far more critical than
about themselves. Hell yeah. Oh my gosh,
yeah.
it's the worst. But you have John and I who draw a bunch, and we can help in that regard. Yeah. So if you've got like a need for a little, I don't know, an enemy to fart on. I tried out
some stuff. There's like Open Tunes, I guess, is something that you can use. I have no idea how to use it. I tried. I don't know how you animate. I have no idea how to use anything. Everything's like, it's like I plug the Wacom in and I'm just like, okay, make some cartoons.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part in my experience. I felt very passionate about doing a webcomic at one point in my life. And it's like, I was like, yeah, I want to write the jokes. I want to draw the pictures. And then you get to, all right, what size file do you want to make this image? Okay, how do you put panels in the image? All right, what font are you using for it? And like that stuff is the creativity killer for me. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing with writing. Like I love crafting a story. I love thinking about dialogue, thinking about plot, building characters, all of that. But then when it comes down to like, okay, sit down, structure the sentence properly, format it properly. Are you being too wordy? Reread it, edit it, self-edit. It's the worst experience in the world. Like it takes something that's so fun and creative and free, and it's just like, what is the exact opposite of that feeling? And it's similar with drawing and art. Like figuring out how to properly use the tools and all of that is hard.
Yeah, I agree. That stuff can get in the way, and I totally get it. I've been doing that kind of thing for a long time, and I always try to make templates before I do anything creative. Like all that stuff you just mentioned, I have to have that down and out of my mind before I'll do it. I can't just do it as I go, or else it just ruins it. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't think about this boring stuff or this mathematical stuff where I'm trying to be creative. It's just hard.
I'm pretty sure the first emails I ever sent to Scott, long before we raided together, before we did anything together, was like, hey, can you help me with this part of drawing that I'm not good at?
Yeah, I remember that. Well, sorry. Some breaking news. I'd just like to, apparently it's 6 hours old, but we missed it. Here's our breaking news sound.
Jill!
That's to let us know there's breaking news from Barry.
Jill sandwich.
Warcraft general manager John Haidt leaving Blizzard. He's out of there. He is he's been there for 12 years. This is the guy. This is the guy I always talked to when we were arranging for like the Q&A. I had to kind of go through him, and I'm really surprised by this because like he's sort of the one that did whatever he could to get Metzen back. It's kind of his push.
He seemed, and I didn't know him, never met him, but he seemed like one of the like. When I think about the push to kind of bring people back into WoW to sort of rethink what it is and get the ball rolling in a better direction for that franchise, he's one of the people I immediately think of in that.
Yeah, big time, especially their efforts after Battle for Azeroth to just try to right the ship. I think Haidt was a huge push in that. So Yeah, he's been there since the the start of Mists, Pandaria, all the way up through Current, and also this new stuff, and then getting Metzen back in general. So I don't know what that all means. I just texted Chris, see if he'd say anything. Let's see if he said anything. Not yet.
Like, where's he going?
Yeah,
Like,
what's he?
Give me the scoop.
Give me the big fat scoop. Nothing yet. All right. Sorry. Back to our regular programming. It says you really suck at drawing, but Bo, I don't think so. I want to see your work. Show it to us.
Well, I deleted it after.
Okay, tip number 1: don't do that. Because let me tell you, as somebody who just went back and literally found the first art book that I started drawing stuff in when I was like, hey, maybe I should give this drawing thing a real try.
Yeah.
When you go back to it, it's crazy. I recognize it is still bad, but it looks so much better than it did in my head when I
really
made it.
can't underscore how badly you guys are being very nice right now. It's very bad.
I mean, it's easy
Like,
to. John's right though.
One leg is like a centimeter wide. The other leg is like 5 feet wide. Like I can't. It's really bad.
And
like,
that's fine. And it could be. I'm not saying it's good, but I'm saying get out of the habit of erasing and removing your stuff.
It's probably wise.
You will never. It doesn't matter if you're at my level or at Scott's level or a level above Scott that I don't know what that is.
There are plenty of levels.
Probably all these levels, people, we draw, we look at it, and we go, well, this is garbage. I don't know how I've lost all my talent, but I apparently have. And you come back to it in a week, and it's the best drawing you've ever seen. That never changes, no matter how far you go on the journey. So get out of the habit of erasing it now, because you will always want to erase it.
Yeah. And do like a little sketchbook, like just a pen and paper or a pencil and paper kind of thing. Forget about that Wacom. Just draw for the pure love and joy of it. And you may still hate it, but
I will also give you one other tip, Scott. I don't know if you'll agree with this. You're a better artist than me, so I don't know why I'm the one giving all the tips. But maybe it's because I feel closer to Bo's level, so I'm like, no, I understand what it's like to be in your shoes.
That was good.
But one of the best tips I ever got is sketch in pen for a while you're starting. You will get so caught up in, I gotta erase this, fix this. I gotta fix this. I gotta fix this.
I agree.
You'll never get anything done.
Quick and dirty.
Never complete anything. Draw in pen so that you have to live with your mistakes and keep playing with it.
Yeah, just do it for the fun of it and the improvement of it and all that. Like, I wish I could do music like you do it. Think of it that way. If I did music today,
it's probably a problem in my philosophy of approach, because it was like, oh, I got this Wacom. Let me see if I can draw. Like, I don't necessarily am like, I really want to get good at drawing. I'm just like, I just want to be able to make assets myself and control the damn thing.
Not have to
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's not, you know, it's not my muse or whatever. You know, I'm definitely the audio stuff. I really look forward to doing that stuff, but I'm just like, man, art is hard.
Art is hard. It's tricky.
I just want to do like my own 2-frame thing, and I'm like, oh god, I was like, how bad could it be, right? I haven't drawn in like 20 years or something like that. And I'm like, it's bad. It's very bad.
It's not Captain Dildo bad though. That's a terrible statue.
Yeah, you keep in mind, there's always Captain Dildo.
I think it's worse than Captain Dildo.
I don't know, man. I think Captain Dildo holds
all
some
right,
kind
I'll
of
draw
record.
something for you guys, okay? I don't know how to color it, but I'll draw.
All right.
I can do black and white.
Well, that's fine. I still don't know how to color things. Like,
I look forward to your work.
So I wasn't sure. I wanted to do like animation, so I got OpenTunes, but I think this is way too advanced. So I downloaded Krita.
I don't know what that is. Krita. I know OpenTunes.
Yeah, I don't want to drop money on anything.
Yeah.
But
OpenTunes is pretty good. The iPad has an app. Procreate makes a thing called Procreate Animate, and it's fantastic. I wish it was everywhere.
We got an Apple phone, but not an iPad for it, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's really good if you ever end up with one. All right, let's do the. Let's get the Dear Martha going. Let's set her on fire. Here's the deal. John likes us to pick a little topic, he riffs on the topic, that sort of thing. I asked the chat, or our Discord rather, somebody to come up with something, and Seaston on Discord had this question, which was, Dear Martha, why do they still call it Diablo when there is no Diablo? And I just feel like that's perfect for some reason.
Okay, I can do that.
So John, it is, why is there no Diablo in Diablo? And that is all you get before we hit play here. Are you ready, sir?
Yeah, let's do it.
Here goes.
My dearest Martha, I write to you in the post not E3 glow of seeing many a trailer for video games. And amongst those was the trailer for the new Diablo 4 expansion, Vessel of Hatred, I think, as I scroll up in the show notes. Yes, Vessel of Hatred is the title of it. We used to call it Diablo Green, but now it is this. And Martha, let me tell you, it looked simply fantastic, but I couldn't help but notice a certain big red is still not appearing in the video game. Now, I understand this is probably an attempt to monetize future expansions, keep the content train a-rolling. And, you know, even in principle, I've certainly heard the criticism that does Diablo need Diablo to be a fun video game? And Martha, I'd like to answer that with a question of my own. Does this steak need salt as seasoning? No. We could throw it directly on the grill, and I'm sure if cooked properly, it would be delicious and enjoyable for any that partook in its steakiness. But Martha, wouldn't it be better with salt? I think it would. And to you, the Diablo developer, I ask you, wouldn't it be better with Diablo? Yours in this life and the next. Manifesto.
A manifesto. Oh, I like Manifesto. That's pretty good. What if Mephisto...
Mephisto's one of the weird evils.
What if Mephisto did a manifesto?
He's a quasi-evil.
Yeah.
Oh, Mephisto's manifesto? That should be a thing.
It should be a thing. I like it a lot. Well, you did it.
Book.
You did it, John, and big thanks to Seaston for that. I think it's fun when you guys come up with some of these as well. So don't be surprised if we're poking you for them once in a while. All right. Speaking of poking,
what if Diablo is this one? Like, would you be okay if in this new Diablo there was like at least a hint of Diablo, like some foreshadowing?
You mean this coming expansion is what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean they kind of did in the base game. There was that part where you go to all the statues.
Oh, right. Yeah. That's
but I
true.
think that's some of the statues are of Diablo. Yeah.
But that was more of a way of actually introducing all of them. It was like Primeval Holiday in that room.
Yeah, you met all of them.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I would be happier if I wanted to play Diablo 4 more often than I do.
This new season's real good. It's really good.
It is, but it's still playing. I don't know. I could do an entire
My thing is the
bonus
expansion's
episode
coming out
on what I want from Diablo 4.
The expansion's coming out so soon. I'd skip if you want to keep yourself fresh, play some other shit, and then play Loot Reborn along with the expansion.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I
here's
feel
the thing.
like
So they're adding pets to this new Diablo.
Yep.
Something they said they would not do.
Yep.
When everybody was like, so these new cosmetics, they're going to be like pets and stuff to pick up your gold. And they're like, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
And I remember at the time when they said, I was like, why? That was a great thing. That's a great collectible. That's a great, like, you're not going to feel too much FOMO. Oh, I didn't buy the whatever. But like, if there's a cool one, like, I love my little Protoss guy going around picking up my gold for me.
Oh,
and
yeah,
like it picks up the
Hyperion.
gold for you. And like that stuff's really cool. Why are you guys being so like, no, we're not doing any of that. We're above that.
They were afraid to
And
do things from 3. Right?
Here they are, one game later, or one expansion later, doing Loot 2.0 and putting minions in the game that pick up gold.
Yep.
Oh my god!
I know.
Like, I'm happy they're doing
mine.
it, but I get so annoyed about Blizzard being like, "Well, we've learned our lessons by doing what we did last time." It just hurts me so much.
It is a little annoying. I'll give you that. All right, it's time for us to have some correspondence from our listeners.
That's a good question.
And one of them is a text from an anonymous person who says this: I just wanted to say that AC Odyssey, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, was my first AC game, and I loved it. Also, like Scott, I could not get into The Witcher 3. I mean, I got into it. I just couldn't. I just don't like it as much. Anyway, I put a solid 30 hours into Witcher 3. It's about what I did, and multiple quality of life issues kept me from finishing it. Scott, you are not alone in your opinion. Yeah, I heard from a lot of people since I said that. I thought it was going to be controversial, but a lot of people are like, yeah, Witcher 3 is awesome for a reason. There's a reason it's an all-time, killer game and everyone can't wait for what 4 is and all that. But the combat's not amazing. It never was. And it's a little, the way some things move around and the way the game controls is a little janky. I really hope they
literally have 2 control options for moving Geralt, and I don't know which one I like better because I kind of dislike them both equally in different ways.
I really don't like either one, and it's actually kind of hard to even tell sometimes why. I don't know what they were thinking with that. Like, it's not like this obvious improvement. It's like, wait, this is sort of a lateral move. It's weird. So there's all kinds of those issues. The storytelling, amazing. The side quests, incredible. Geralt, amazing. Like all that stuff, graphically, all of
graphics,
it.
the world.
Wonderful.
There's so many times I'm in The Witcher 3 where you just stand on a ledge and you watch a storm roll in, and it's one of the, like, I feel like I'm there. It's one of those things where it's like, it sounds so cheesy to say, but I'm gonna just say it and own it because I think Witcher 3 is that good. I would watch it and I go, I feel like I can almost smell the rain.
Yeah. When it would roll in, the trees start really waving and the sky gets dark, it's something in that game. Still, to this day, it's impressive. So, none of that bothers me. But the game itself, the actual gameplay has never been it just never, held me the way that Odyssey does. Odyssey's so good, dude. Freaking so good.
The secret to enjoy Witcher 3 on a gameplay level is upgrade your shield rune up until where you get health when it gets hit, and then enjoy the rest of the video game.
There you go. Nicely done.
That's all you need to do. You go in, you hit things, you get hit, you put up your shield, they heal you back up, and then you hit things some more, and it's the end of the game.
That's the game.
You can do whatever you want from that point.
Yeah, you've described the game pretty well. We got one other anonymous texter. This person said, "Did you fellas try Enshrouded?" I have not yet.
Did, right?
Bo bought it, I think.
I have it. Yeah, I have it. It's fun. It seems like okay.
Have you checked in lately? Like, I don't know how fast.
No, I played around launch, and Pal World launched around the same time.
Yeah.
And I think there's a little bit of the old Vampire Survivors-itis happening with these survival games, where you're like, John, how about shooting potato circle head? He's like, nope, I want to play Vampire Survivors. What about Laser Larry? And it's like, nope, I like Vampire Survivors. And I gotta say, the more I try other like games in the genre, I'm like, I like them and I appreciate them, but they're not Valheim. And I'm like, Valheim has a new update, and I'm just I'm trying to hold off for 1.0. We may get back into it fairly soon, even not finished, because I'm itching to play. If I'm gonna play a survival game, I'm just gonna play Valheim. Like, why would you not play the best survival game? And that might be different for other people. I'm not saying my opinion has to be everyone's opinion, but I like Valheim the best, and it just feels like, not quite the flavor you want, right? So it's got like RPG third person action combat. It's great, but the building is not that satisfying in the same way. I don't know. But maybe it is given some time. I don't play nothing but those games, so I'm looking to play the best in those genres, and I'm gonna let that one cook for a little bit.
Enshrouded is let's see, how often are they getting updated? I know their score has increased.
There's a few updates. Yeah, I think I mean, it depends. It's almost like
there's a patch today, in fact. So there's that.
Oh, there you go.
Valheim has notoriously been slow. Like, they launched their game in 2021, early access, and we're 2024, and it's still not out. And it's not like they're adding Baldur's Gate levels of content to their patches. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool shit for sure, but it feels like it's slow. And maybe that's because of the size of the team or whatever. Not a criticism per se, but
it's interesting. There's a review today. A guy says best base building to this day in any game I've played ever. I mean, it seems a little hyperbolic, but he seemed to really like it. It's like Valheim, but much better. If you like Valheim but found it too unforgiving, Enshrouded is for you. It's prettier, has a nice dose of lore, and can at times be a bit of a challenge. Thoroughly enjoying it at 79 hours in. So yeah,
The
generally
best way to describe it is like Enshrouded's for people who want better combat and more like RPG, I get loot combat.
I see.
Because Valheim has good combat, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's the best in class combat out of any of these.
Yeah.
But
Also,
what
isn't
it does well is
yeah.
that it's like, oh, if I got to mine this stuff, I got to build a path and build a cart and haul it, and the overall sense of adventure is where I like Valheim.
Yeah.
And yes, Valheim is punishing. If you die, you lose stats that you worked on. It has like XP. You don't have experience points, but it has XP loss as a punishment in the game.
Yeah. I like its crusty aesthetic too. I'm into it. I think it's cool.
Yeah, yeah. And the shifting biomes, the new recipes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all these games have stuff you can glom onto, but Valheim's just a lot of fun. I just wish the draw distance was farther. They really need to fix that.
Yeah.
But it's like if you like that genre of game, you're eating good. They all have points of merit to say like, oh, this is really great. And Enshrouded I liked, but not enough to commit to it. If I'm going to play something other than Valheim that's a survival right now, I think it's got to be V Rising. I don't know why I can't work up the will to play it. I just don't feel like playing it.
Yeah, I understand. You played a lot of that before, so
I did.
I need to get. I keep getting this feeling because when you were running the server was always live, so that meant your castle degradation was happening in real time all the time.
I'm turning that shit off if I ever get back to it.
Yeah, but it used to give me anxiety. I kept being like, "Oh, should I get in and check and make sure I got enough blood in the thing and everything?" And so late when I've been playing V Rising as well, I haven't talked about it much, but I'm still popping in there. But it's my own save, but I still get the anxiety that something.
Oh, it's not a live server.
Yeah,
so
I go back in. Yeah, so I go back in. I'm like, oh right, nothing's alive. It's all the way I left it. In fact, that wood over there is still cutting the one I saved when I saved. Like, it's super dumb that I get that way. But
I kept it in because I just kept in all the defaults because I would think mechanically there's got to be a reason that this makes it compelling. Why would they put it in there? But the good news is it's dumb.
It's not fun.
The
degradation
good news is it's dumb.
Yeah,
you can turn it off. It doesn't add anything to the game.
No, you can really extend it too. If somehow you like the lore behind it, you can make it really long. But it's just kind of.
I think they just wanted to give you a reason to farm blood because you need to, feed off of people, bring the blood back, feed it into your building. But
yeah, and it keeps people checking back in. I guess
buildings don't rot if they don't have blood in it. I'm sorry. It's just a dumb idea. Like a game full of great ideas, but one dumb one.
That's how you know you grew up with an HVAC installer dad. You don't need blood to make this building.
You don't need blood to make a building. You just need cement and elbow grease.
That's right. Steady back.
And good mixing agent. Yeah, so that's a good one. There's another one too. I bought Rust. I haven't booted it up yet, but Rust is another survival game that people really like.
Rust has been big since it happened, I think. Yeah, Rust is
huge.
huge.
I got that one, and Pal World was actually pretty fun, but
Pal World updates look cool. I saw, what was that during? Was that during the Microsoft event?
They have an expansion that's coming out, or maybe it's just an update, but like a big content update.
Yeah,
I think the reason I fell off of that one is there's just too many games, man. There's just so much to do. I can't.
Yeah,
those games do demand a lot of time. Even Valheim, like I spent like days building a staircase up a mountain.
Jeez.
Which I still have to save, but the nice thing about Valheim and being a live server is the days still elapse, but your settlements can get attacked, but they won't attack if 0 players are logged in.
Oh.
And it's not like you have competing settlements like in V Rising, like everyone partakes in settlements, so if you're logged in you should defend.
Yeah.
But they won't attack. They also won't attack if you're not hanging around your base too. So it's like
interesting.
Yeah, it's better designed.
Well, there you go. By Zeus's beard, may we play that game again?
Yeah, maybe I'll play Enshrouded in greater detail later. But I thought this felt like I gotta wait for this one. The building, I don't find the building all that great. But
Odin's beard. Not Zeus.
Sorry. The big thing I hated about it, and this is where I get the Valheim hipster is when you cut down to tree mechanics in Valheim are marvelous. When I cut down a tree, it knocks down other trees. It falls on the ground. You can hurt yourself.
Yeah. Wasn't it?
In Enshrouded, when you cut down the tree,
Yeah.
it turns into a ghost and floats into the ground. I hate it.
Yeah, like all the rest
It's
of
like,
them.
oh.
I love that's a hang up for you. I
lame.
think that's amazing. I like that though. I watched somebody on a video get their character killed.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. Cutting trees is dangerous work. I've done it in real life, and if you don't cut it down properly, it could fall on someone and kill them.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's the extreme job. Move
That's
over
right.
snowboarding.
Yeah, get out
Try
of the
cutting tree.
get out of the way, X Games. If you want to send your own messages in via text like these folks did, 801-471-0462. You can also use that as a voicemail line and leave a message. We'll play it on the show. talktothecore@gmail.com also works if you would prefer email. Oh, look what we got here. We have a chance to thank some people for being patrons of this show.
Yes, you're the best.
Brand new people. Patreon.com/core show. We want to thank Chris Eich, I guess is how you'd say that. Eich? I don't know. Eich? Chris Eich? All right. Mason Wonder, David Morton, guy named Mark. That's all.
His name is just Mark, and not
Mark.
like his username is a guy named Mark.
Yeah, I should make that clear. He just didn't leave his last name, so it's just a dude named Mark.
All Marks out there, thank you.
Yeah, all the Marks are
If
great.
you didn't sign up, you need to get on it because Mark decided that all Marks need to be patrons.
Yeah, all Marks patrons. Jake Bowles as well. Bowles, probably Bowles, not Bowles.
Probably Bulls, Scott.
Yeah.
Just a guess.
Oops. Anyway, these people know how great it is to be patrons because they get no commercials ever. They get pre-show
You call them
content.
Bowles?
Bowles, I didn't mean to. I was being stupid.
Oh, it's bowls, dude.
You get pre-show
Sorry, I was
content.
a little late to that one.
Yeah, it's all right. You also get monthly benefits, including video game art in the mail, host specials, as alluded to by John a second ago. Oh, I've got something in the bag I need to post, but something coming soon. I won't tell you what it's about, but I'm excited. Anyway, a lot happening. You just need to sign up and help your favorite show live and breathe. It's patreon.com/core show. It's going to do it for us. frogpants.com/core for all things core. So if you're looking for it, you'll find it there. And I think that's everything. I guess we just have to hand the mic to Grandma and let him. Oh my gosh, what is Grandma? Oh yeah, we're not doing the games we talked about, just the games we played. I just for a minute there, I'm like, you can't do this list. Holy shit!
Yeah.
But no, it's just the stuff we played. So Grandma, don't worry.
I think we should bring back Fast Grandma, and we should cover every game.
Oh, all right. If Grandma can do it, if she's got the fortitude, let's have it at her. So Grandma, take it away. What did we do?
And this show ended before it hit 4 hours, so I guess I got enough speed to get through this. Let's go ahead and do it. So buckle up. If you heard a game that sounded good, this is the games they talked about throughout the whole show. Doom the Dark Ages, Dragon Age the Veilguard, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, South of Midnight, Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred, Fable, Gears of War E-Day, Sid Meier's Civilization 7, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Rita's Rewind, Wanderstop, Star Wars Outlaws, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Perfect Dark, First Descendant, Once Human, Age of Mythology, Retold, Fumes, Cataclismo, Level 0, Extraction, Battle Aces, Citizen Sleeper 2, Unrailed 2, Tactical Breach, Wizard, Screenbound, Batman Arkham, Shadow VR, Behemoth VR, Stalker 2. And if you want to know what the boys played, it was Metal Slug Tactics Demo, Elden Ring, Final Fantasy XIV, Doom Eternal, and back up to the top, mini-shoot adventure, SKALD Against the Black Priory, and Scott got a new Anbernic based on the clamshell Game Boy.
Yeah,
That's hot stuff, Grandma. You
yeah,
did
that
great.
was really something. By the way, this is funny. Anbernic calls that device the RG35XX or XX SP. They literally put SP at the end of this thing.
Now, guys, some people are saying too fast in the chat room.
Oh, they'll be fine.
Just play it at 0.25 speed on your podcast.
And I'm
app.
sure it will sound
They'll
very
be
cool.
fine. They're wondering if you mentioned Dragon Age Veilguard. I think you did.
It was the second one
Yeah,
I
but
said.
I heard him say it.
All
but
right.
you can check and confirm with us at 0.25 speed.
Yeah, Grandma really.
It's too fast for you.
I think your skills at doing tongue twisters. I think that helps you here.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you know what's amazing is he didn't mess up. I was like, oh, for sure he's gonna say something funny like scissor and penis or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, and it didn't. didn't happen.
No,
It didn't happen.
I'm impressed. You did real good.
It's all practice, so they'll cast me as Blur, my least favorite Transformer and future Transformer.
Yeah, you
properties.
do have Blur vibes. for
Oh,
sure.
Blur.
Yeah.
Well, all right. You did great, and I can't wait for more of this. Guess what? We'll be back at it next week. If you want to watch us live, we're here at 5 p.m. on Thursdays. That's Mountain Time at frogpants.tv. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Yes. Get more at frogpants.com.
And my brain is like, oh, fuck.